Beep boop. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hello. Is anybody there? Beep boop. No? Okay, great. Perfect. Seems like it's working. Holy chocolate milkshake. This has probably got 1,000 million calories in it. I'm not sure that the audio is working that well. You guys are gonna have to tell me because I can't really like preview the stream that great. I mean, I guess I could, but hello, hello, hello. So I've had a bit of a kerfuffle today. I woke up like 7 hours ago. Actually, 7 hours ago. The audio's way too low. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm not sure I can turn it up. I think it's the microphone is kind of bad. Let me have a look though. Let me twiddle this dial. Did that change anything? I think that's changed the volume on my side. Let me have a look. Open sound settings. Input device, device properties, volume set to 100%. I do have another option actually. I have a different microphone that I could plug in. Let me try this one. I don't know whether this will work any better, but I have had some success with it in the past. It's like it's half plugged in. No, it's fully plugged in. Let me try a different mic though. So, by the way, if if somebody comes into this room, I need to leave because I was told that this room was busy, but there's no one here. But if somebody comes in, I gotta like turn off my stream and leave immediately. So just don't snitch, okay? Don't snitch, chat. Is there even another USB plug? I think those are USBs. Ba-dum. Okay, let's have a look. Right, so I think that Comic Con roster is gonna do all right. I think they're gonna be pretty good. All right, which one is this? Is this the Wave Link? Is that what it's called? Hello, is that better now? Okay, I think that's using the other one. Is that a lot better? Okay, okay. So we'll just keep using this, I guess. I still need my headphones on to hear what's happening, but yeah, we've just got like a fake microphone attached to us now. Okay, so yeah, I'm in LA, like I said. So if you didn't catch it earlier, basically, they let me into the building today because the hotel Wi-Fi is butt cheeks. I might be able to fix it. They disabled all the Ethernet ports in my room. Actually, there's only one Ethernet port in my room, which is weird. Normally there's like 4 at this hotel. They disabled it, so it doesn't even come out. And then, yeah, the Wi-Fi is not that great. So I was like, fuck, I can't really do the prep that I wanted to do today. Please, can I come into the studio and use the room? They're like, yeah, sure, but the streaming room's being used today. Well, if it is, it's going to be later on and I'm going to get kicked out. But for now, I'm just kind of like squatting. So if you see somebody walk through this door, I need to run. So, Raichu plays games. Thank you for the 7 months. So I don't have any alerts on the screen or anything. I don't have the chat on the screen either, right? Because it'd take a bit of effort to set that up. Maybe I could put the chat on the screen. Actually, it's not that difficult, is it? It's just like gimbal... What's it called? Gayamba J. Here we go. I can't exactly remember how to set this up, but we should be fine. I can't remember how I normally have it. Do I normally have shadow on, but no stroke? No, I think I have shadow and stroke, both on. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, and channel sideshow. Generate that shit. Okay, let's pop it on here. Insert browser source. Chat. Okay. All right, you guys have got to chat for me to see if it's working. Oh, look, there you are. That looks a bit small. That looks a bit small. TBH. Let's do a... You know what, actually, I think we could make that work. What if we just had it like this? Like a Chinese stream. I mean, I don't think it really matters too much, does it? Yes, it does, because now gay sex is extremely large all over the screen. Okay. So maybe we don't do that. Let me set this up a bit differently. Let's set it to... should we go medium size or large size? Let's go for large. Okay. Change that. All right. Now see what happens. Yeah. Kurt, I don't know whether you call it the beginning of the stream, but I'm not allowed to be in here. I just am. Yeah, I mean that's okay, isn't it? That's just okay. Chromoris, XQC, what's up? What's up? They told me that I was allowed to use the player practice rooms, but the player practice rooms, you're not allowed to open the web browser, that's kind of prohibitive to me doing prep. Like, if I want to watch some VODs, I can't really open I can't open a web browser, so I couldn't stream there. So I was like, pretty please, could you let me into the streaming room? And they were like, yeah, sure. But again, don't think I'm supposed to be in here, so we'll see. We'll see if I get kicked out. Fantastic Panic, thank you for the 4 months. Can you say Ethernet again? Yeah, Ethernet. Okay, Americans say Ethernet. I don't think people in the UK do. Do they? I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying it wrong. Does it matter? Get over yourselves. All right. Let me copy and paste these things over here. All right. So, let me explain the premise for today's stream. Okay. So, I'm going to be casting the opening game of VCT. I mean, I was going to say VCT Americas, but actually it's the first game of the entire season, which is pretty sick. It's NRG versus FURIA. I think it should actually be a good game. I think in theory... wait, let me just double check that I am doing that game. Because now that I think about it... Wait, I don't think I am. I think I'm doing the second game. I think I've trolled. No, I'm doing NRG FURIA. Dude, something in my head there just said, no, you're on the second game of the day, dumbass. No. Okay, so I'm on NRG FURIA. That's good. Okay, I didn't get the game completely wrong. And, yeah, what was I going to say? Right, yeah, so it's the first game of the season. And I think it's going to be a really good game, right? FURIA have MW, Havoc, Khalil. They have people that can really shoot. And NRG have a lot more people that can really shoot, but I think NRG is still going to be a little wobbly. And today, I want to take a look at some FURIA VODs from the off-season, although, God help me, they're difficult to find, because basically the whole of Superdome just vanished. There are no official VODs available on the internet for Superdome Colombia. And then I'm going to go and look through some NRG VODs. And the purpose of my VOD review today is two things. One, I want to specifically look at the way that Furia set up MW0 versus setting up the rest of the team to see whether it's true that they tend to win or lose based on whether M0 just pops off. Because I think that happens quite a lot of the time, is that M0 is like way ahead in the fragging of everybody else, but it doesn't happen all the time. And I want to see why it sometimes happens. Because it's one thing to be like, yeah, Furia are a bit of a weird team. Sometimes MW's got like 40 frags and the rest of his team has 10. But I don't know why. I really don't know why that happens. And we've been talking about it a bit on Plat Chat, but we haven't gone back through and like actually done a focused VOD review of why that happens. So the other thing that I wanted to do was, I think NRG are going to play quite differently on their attack side. Well, first of all, I think NRG are going to be using wildly different compositions because of what Chet and Victor have been talking about. But I think that on their attack side, they were always a team that played a specific way, which was, I think, the way that Finesse thinks about the game. And Victor has talked in interviews about having to align the way that Ethan and Chet think about the game to find a middle ground with different, like pacing is the big word that he said, but he didn't want to talk too much about it. Now, when I think about the way that Finesse calls, I think about the way that he almost always throws the same kind of default utility at the start of the round and then goes into a fast hit or then goes into a fake or into a slow pace round where they're trying to figure out where the best site to hit is. But generally, that's how I think about the way that they play. And I wanted to try and look at some examples of classic Finesse calling so that when I watched the game of NRG coming up where Ethan's calling, I can point out the differences really specifically. Because sometimes the way that you think about the game and the way that you model it in your head is slightly different to the reality. So I just wanted to double check and make sure that I'm correct. Greg was unavailable. Thank you for the Prime. And Fantastic Panic, thanks for the 4 months as well. Retrograde, thanks for the 38 months too. The Michael Jordan-esque win streak we will be going on in Ranked. Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure I can actually play Ranked. Because I was intending to use this streaming room to play video games from. And it's apparently closed. Now, I'm in here, but it is apparently unavailable. So we'll see. If I can just continue entering this room and streaming and nobody gets mad about it, then I will be able to play. But but if somebody gets bothered about it, then I'm going to have to stream from the hotel with terrible Wi-Fi. And I definitely don't have enough CPU power to be able to play Valorant on that laptop anymore. Oh, thank you for the gifted sub as well, Fantastic Panic. And I really, really, really want to stream this month because I'm trying to hit the Partner Plus points. If you scroll down on my stream, if you go to twitch.tv/sideshow, and then you scroll down the stream, there's this like box in the bottom right that says Partner Plus points. At the moment, I'm at 178 for this month. I don't even know when, I don't know when that began. It's supposed to be every month. So I think this is the February one. But I was like 5 subs away from earning thousands of extra dollars from Twitch last month. So I really want to try and push to stream more so that I get more paid subs so that I can actually earn more money from Twitch. So, okay. In the meantime, let's kick off this VOD review session. Now, you might notice something here. Because all of the VODs for Superdome have disappeared, I am having to watch a co-stream. So this is Bida, and I know that there are VODs from Sliggy's channel as well. Yes, but Sliggy will distract me while I'm doing my VOD review. So I found somebody who's in, I think, Portuguese. I think Bida is one of the Brazilian talent. And I'm going to VOD review their VOD review. So, because the official VOD isn't available. Did you even ask the man, can you use his VODs? I'm going to be ignoring everything he's saying. But at the same time, yeah, yoink. Yoink. Okay. So, let me find a place for this. Let's put this, like, down here, shall we? Alright.
E aí, mano, os caras não conseguem acertar os tiros em você e você consegue.
For fuck's sake, I can't hear
Pop
anything.
Skies pra sair, realmente.
Justo, justo.
Oh, God, this headset's broken. Good time to find out. Maybe that's why the mic was fucked. Let's try this. Nicer headset, actually, as well. No, it was plugged in at the PC end. Where does this go? There it goes. But now I need to change all of my settings on the PC so that they actually work. Output device is headphones. Elgato Wave 3. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay. That lighting makes you look even bolder. Yeah, look at that. Okay. So. Okay. Okay. I thought this VOD review would be less distracting. But I'm not sure that it's going to be less distracting. We can't hear now? Oh, yeah. I'm laughing about how weird the audio is and you guys can't even hear it. Can you hear it now? Yeah. You found the VODs? No, you didn't, Solimari. How did you find them? Where do I send? Put them in the chat. Put them in the chat. There's no fucking shot you found them. I don't believe you. How have you found them? They don't exist. In Before Rickroll, I swear, if you fuck me now, if you fuck me, I'm waiting. Why is it taking so long to get a link in the chat, Solimari? No, I'm not sure. Okay, wait, what is this? Oh my fucking God. How did you find it? It's unlisted. This is what I was looking for, for the last half hour. How did you find it? Unlisted with 2 views. How have you done that? I bow down to your ability to scrape YouTube. How have you done it? I mean, wait, how do I find the rest? Oh, wait, no, this is a 5-hour VOD. Wait, this is day 1. Okay, okay. So, whoa, the games today were Furia against Cloud9. So this is actually the previous Furia Cloud9 game, I think. Oh, no, this is the same one. This is the same one. All right, so Lev Crew played first. And then Furia Cloud9. Okay, okay, okay. And that's the halftime. So we're going back to here. And this is the beginning of the game, somewhere around here. Nice. Wait, you have popped off. You have popped off. Because I watched the Superdome Egypt VOD and remembered the channel. Yeah, but I remembered the channel. I knew it was on BME. But how do you check the channel for the entire day? Oh, they have a playlist? No way. Oh my fucking God. There it is. The playlist. Holy mother of God. There it is. There it is. You're goated. How did you miss this? Okay, chat. Let me fucking start by saying this thing has 2 views. This has 2 fucking views. Also, I found the BME Twitch channel, which doesn't link to their YouTube channel. I didn't find the BME YouTube channel. I found the Superdome YouTube channel, but that didn't have the VOD on it. You barely tried? I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. It seems real obvious in hindsight now that we have the VOD that, again, only 2 people ever have viewed before. How many people have viewed this one? None. Literally, no human on Earth has seen this. No human on Earth has seen this. This one person has seen it. Okay, this is found footage. Oh, God. Okay, anyway. Right, let's begin.
Cloud ahí atrás. Lo tiene, ojo que lo tiene ahí.
All right. So I have already watched this game before, but I can't really remember it. So Furia, playing Breeze, playing with the old default composition, but this is old Breeze, back before Halls got released. Alright, so they're just playing a pistol round at the very start, just walking down mid with 3 players, all lost duels to sheriffs. Next! I'm going to be skipping through this because it's pretty focused VOD review. Like, I've got a very specific goal in mind. So, I'm going to be skipping through quite a lot of it. Actually, wait there. I'm going to be doing some... well, what am I doing? Where do I normally have this? I normally have this up here, don't I? Whatever, that'll do. Alright, so they're doing the same thing, just walking out of mid. What util are they using at the start here? Nothing. They're not even throwing the mid recon dart.
Intentaba y obviamente Musera llevándoselo a buscar para la escuadra de Cloud9. Vamos a ver con qué se despierta la escuadra de Furia.
I mean, literally no utility used.
Poner un 2-1 en el marcador, Mataga. Así es, la Furia brasileña empiezan a buscar si pueden dar el juego.
So they're just banking on the fact that they're going to be able to take the fight rather than giving away that they're playing mid whatsoever. And then they use the recon dart afterwards. But it looks like they were thinking about trying to get Khalil aggressive through double door too. So they might have wanted to do some kind of like flash recon repush with Khalil after they got that kill, had the cascade not come into their face. And then again, we've got Liadzi facing A main, and MW's peeking Halls. Now, Vanity getting a kill through Halls is bizarre, but yeah. 3v3. Oh, 3v4, sorry.
Mandamos la investigación canina para ver en dónde está el enemigo. El equipo atacante ya por ahora se encuentra en el site. Ya está el domo puesto y en este momento Jackie plantando la spike. Situación de retake otra vez. Esta bonus puede ser posiblemente para la escuadra.
Khalil's got some of the best mechanics on this team, and if they just leave him, like, alive until the end of the round like this, and the round's won or lost by the time he gets to it, they're going to struggle to get value out of him. Oh my god, I mean, look at how fucking skilled this guy is. But they got big value out of him there, in a 3v4 that they won. Huli, thank you for the prime. Spinozone, Gimmelstuk, thank you for the prime subs, appreciate it. Alright, so MW's gone for a walk down.
rapidito marcar, ojito que puede ser un ingreso agresivo. Empezamos a levantar información.
Oh, MW just dashed into them. That's bonkers from MW. Don't know whether you guys saw that, but he was walking down elbow. He smoked himself. Not really any need to do it, as far as I was aware in this round, but it's to avoid stuff like the Sky Flash as he's coming around the corner. I suppose it would be good for avoiding the recon dart as well if he was playing against a Sova. But he's managed to get into elbow, and then he dashes onto them. Like here, look, he's already pushed down. And he dashes onto the Sky, who's inside the dog. He misses the timing onto Vanity, turns round, deletes Whippy, and then kills Vanity as well, who comes back to trade, and then kills Jake, who comes back to trade too. And then kills Zeppa. Dude, this guy's a freak. Loses to Oxy. The rest of his team is basically just contributing nothing and not particularly set up to, you know, defend Spike or have... What the hell? Why? Yo, Slimetry. Thank you very much for the 50 gifted subs. For who knows what reason. Thank you. That's extremely kind. No, gifted subs, by the way, don't count towards Partner Plus. Should I have mentioned that earlier on? Yeah. Thank you very much. That's very kind. Gifteds and Prime subs don't count. It's only individually paid subs or like tier 2, tier 3s. It's to stop whales being able to push you over the line, actually. It's to stop you getting funded by Oilers. But Slimetry, that's extremely kind of you. Thank you very much. Absolute Gibbon, thank you for the 7 months. How did I not get a gifted? Well, you had like a 1 in 8 chance, right? There's like 400 people in the chat or something. What matches do you cast? I'm casting the first game of VCT. I'm casting NRG Furia to begin with, Symmetry. Loves the Toast. Thanks for the Prime as well. Yeah, I'm the Fnatic Duelist. Yes. All right, let's get back into the VOD, though. So, I mean, the rest of Furia here just kind of... just kind of spread out. MW killed 4 of them, and then it looked a bit dodgy there for them to even clean up 1 towards the end. Conan's talked about how he wants this team to be really disciplined, but I don't know how they're going to achieve that, because this team, I would be really surprised if this was a disciplined team. So, anyway, let's take a look at what's happening here. Monkey Me Love, thank you for the 100 bits. Who's casting Cloud9, do you know? Yes, but I'm not going to leak all of the casters. They can talk about it if it's them that's doing the cast. Well, I can tell you it's either going to be me and... The first, like, week is me and Bren and Riv and Vance. So, it's going to be one of the two. Zafar, thanks for the Prime. Alright, so this round as well, MW wants to go for a wander down mid, or like into mid. Furia also have very little, like MW is prioritizing full armor, even when he doesn't have updraft or smokes, which is unusual. MW peeks, gets a kill, so they recon dieted and they flashed at the start of that round. So their flash comes over the top in order to assist the double doors peak. And then they have the recon dart towards the bottom and mid in the like standard spot. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Those are the kind of plays I think that almost everybody needs to be doing around Breeze defense. But then Conan drones immediately afterwards just to try to maintain some of the space as MW backs off.
Y la ciberjaula que se activa, Matanga por ahora se mantiene.
Means that about 110 now C9 have mid control.
Rápidamente Jake ya cayó también en esta ronda 5 para 4 de momento, Matanga.
Así es, vamos viendo entonces.
I'm wondering if Furia ever get aggressive if MW isn't involved. Because at the moment, look at Liazzi and Havoc's positioning. It's really passive on A. Alright, Oxy with a sick entry.
Rapidito quitaba la seguridad de Furia. En este momento nos quedamos sin nosotros. Vamos a ver si el castigo se puede dar. Bueno, el ingreso poquito a poquito, corto a
So
corto.
now they got 4 in spawn.
El tic-tac a partir de este momento empieza a ser para el equipo de la
Patch,
defensa.
thanks for the 11 months.
Matanga por ahora, la tormenta de cuchillas que hizo apertura muy bien Oxy.
Bastante, debería. Bastante.
And that's a bit of a team flash.
Demasiado complicado ver esa daga volando rapidito y no tener que más.
Trying to use the Viper Molly to be able to retake. I like the use of the nade there, but
Demasiado complicado ver esa daga volando rapidito y no tener que más hacer. La seguridad se acaba de quitar por completo y el
oh, so that's just a spam kill from Zeppa.
siguen cortando, siguen.
And then Liazzi's the only person on the other side of the wall. So one dies to one dies to Oxy, one dies to spam, and then Cloud9 clean up the other two.
Un recorrido de ventaja para la sexta ronda y de MVP. Por ahora Oxy llevándose la diferencia super de 11 kills.
But already we've seen in that round, Khalil was trying to face to duel the entry player, and he died. In one of the previous rounds, we had, even though Khalil won the 3v4 retake towards the end, they lost because MW was facing down halls, which, to be honest, I mean, in this version of the map is whatever. But Liazzi was also facing as the A site anchor too.
Cosa impresionante, sabe cómo jugar este hombre.
En este momento
And ended up dying to the person taking a peek. Alright, here comes a peek in. Was that set up with a flash? I didn't see a flash. Nope, no flash for Havoc. He doesn't even have any. So this is actually just a peek with the knife. There's nothing else going on here. I guess there's a recon dart behind him in cave, but this is just MW just deciding to swing and see if he can win the round on his own. And he almost kills Whippy. He does kill Oxy. They get information that basically everybody else is there. That's a good ult. That takes the knives out of MW's hands. And Conan's the only other player with a rifle. The two players with weaponry are kind of sat back, allowing the other people to create pressure. I think that makes sense. So now that the knives are back, MW can try and go in, and he does. Okay, but now you want to chill, right? Harbor wall goes up. Good recon. Dude, it just looks like MW's... for example, there, Jake swings through the wall because... I mean, Jake is not favored going through the wall like that, but that's because the recon dart didn't get broken. So that's just Cloud9 not reacting properly to the fact that recon's online. When they got stalled out for so long, they need to be aware that that's still a factor. They could literally count from 40 seconds earlier when Conan used it on Cave. They might not have been paying attention to that, but they should still be aware that there's a recon around. And they didn't have anyone set up to break it, and Jake didn't break it, so he got caught. Okay, so now they got a 2v1 against Whippy. They should be able to win this. Whippy doesn't have any lineup. Oh my god. Okay, Conan. Okay, Conan. Yeah, we're VOD reviewing MW0 and the way that the rest of Furia plays. Just general stylistic stuff. Conan has horrible IGLing. I think it's too early to say that. it's too early, I think, to make a blanket statement like that. But listen, my hopes are not extraordinarily high. And certainly in the past, I don't rate Conan that highly as an IGL, but I think he has IGL before. But yeah, during Convergence, the IGLing was not very good, Yoniske. But I think you still have to, like, you know, see some actual season play before we see that. Yeah, Furia did play more recently than this in Convergence, but I already watched the Convergence VODs as well. I can remember what happened during those. Okay, so MW got the op online. So do they use early initiator utility? They knife over towards elbow, and that's about it. MW is just forced to back off because he himself goes into the knife. They didn't recon early. Okay, Liazzi finds one.
Disparando a través de los zomos, llevaba el castigo, se llevaba un alma y descontaba a Shepa, dejándoles en este momento sin información. Tenemos la información canina, pero nuestro robot querido se iba para el más allá.
Not breaking the dog for quite some time. Just puts Liazzi in a really rough position there. And again, the Furia players are trying to prioritize getting kills on people who are entering rather than dealing with the utility. For example, there, Liazzi's, you know, jiggle peeking to try and put some pressure on people scaling. I don't mind that. I think that you just need to also deal with the utility that comes afterwards instead of trying to, you know, run backwards the entire time because he just got caught out there. Alright, so now we've got a 3-person retake from backside. Havoc gets a kill on Vanity, and Oxy's found. Oxy re-aggresses. Alright, they go for like a double peek through the Viper wall. They spot where Whippy's playing from. They see that he's playing close. What's the double face look like? Actually pretty decent. There's a little jiggle at the beginning from Khalil to try and bait out a shot, and then they go for a double wide swing. They were pretty close together. There was a chance there for some kind of spray down, but it would have been difficult. I think in general, pretty nicely played. They had a big player advantage there, and so they were really thinking about how to make sure that they were peeking through things at the same time. You know, they updrafted and swung through the Viper wall. They jiggled and then double swung onto Whippy towards the end. So those are the kind of things I think that Furia are trying to work on. When was this played? Oh, quite a while ago. Quite a while ago. Charles Serial, thank you for the 38 months. Paint _MP3, thanks for the 6 months as well. Alright, so this is an anti-eco round from Furia. Come on, come on, come on. The op is just holding on B here, in like a passive spot. Why is my... Again, no initiator utility used at the start of the round. MW goes for a peek. Okay. They decide to use the Sova ult here against an eco round. I think that's probably just their default setup, and I don't think they've adjusted that based on the fact that it's an anti-eco. I think they're just running it as if it was a rifle round. They've also, I think Furia's game plan here has been heavily fight mid for the first 3 or so rounds, hoping that Cloud9 will get conditioned not to play there. It hasn't really worked. I mean, Vanity's just happy to still take his team to mid in some of these rounds afterwards. But I think it indicates a broader picture idea of the game plan coming into this match that makes sense. It's a really standard thing that top teams are going to do is like fight over one area at the beginning in the first few rounds and then leave it fairly open, which is, it seems, what Fury have gone for. Alright, so now MW, they're going to go for the same thing again by the look of it, the flash over the top and the peak double door, but this time with the AWP. Yeah, there's the flash. No recon used. Oxy dodges the shot. I say dodges. Maybe MW missed. Maybe that's a fairer way of putting it. And now is MW going to try and get active in A main? Certainly looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, not with any help though. I mean, Havoc has another flash to potentially use here, but MW's just gone for a dry setup over towards A main. And this time, importantly too, MW's guessed the wrong side of the map. So he got aggressive over towards double doors, now he's gone aggressive towards A main. I do like the fact that Furia are rotating off where MW's playing, so as long as MW gets set up down this deep line towards here, the rest of his team knows that it's more likely to be heavy towards mid and heavy towards B. This is a good timing for Cloud9 to try and set up a B split too, because they've pushed away the Oppa who is playing here, so you want to try and react like this. So I think it makes sense for Furia to start rotating around now. The dog is never getting broken. And Oxy just walked in through mid. They had no eyes thinking he could be that deep. I think, when did Conan use his recon? Did he use it to defend, like, a B hit that didn't really come through? Yeah, so he uses it to counter the dog here. So the dog's already gone through and he uses the recon now to be able to get like spam kills on anyone who might be scaling off the dog. They're leaving mid extraordinarily open, but they did try to peek mid at the beginning of the round, and they were playing really heavy mid. Like, they played 3 in mid, just swinging like this at the start of some of the previous rounds. I think they're relying too much on C9 being conditioned not to play mid. I mean, this position from Oxy, it just feels like they have no concept that somebody could be up that deep. And nobody's even looking. Could have caught a free kill on Conan in the drone. I don't really understand what Conan's doing with his drones either. He already knows from his recon that nobody's scaled into B. And he's done this a few times where he just kind of drones out mid or drones B, seemingly. I don't think they're high value timings to be using that piece of utility. So now they're going to set up for an A split, and we've got another chance for MW to win the round. Because MW is so aggressive, look how much this paralyzes Cloud9. Because they're expecting him to go for the re-peek. They have a harbor wall up right now. They actually need to be scaling into the site. But because they're thinking that MW is going to try and re-peek back into them, they don't just want to start moving. They're worried about him. Oxy's going to try and get the punish if he was playing over towards bricks. Oh my god, how's MW getting away with this stuff? God, it's going to be so fun to watch MW play against Demon 1. Oh god, that's not great. Oh, Conan. Okay, at least he finishes off Whippy. He should be able to get the kill on Oxy here too. Sorry, MW should. MW there didn't want to get aggressive and put Conan at a 1v1 in the clutch. I think it would have been a better decision there to play aggressive and try to actually swing and take the duel against Oxy. Because worst case scenario, it puts Conan in a really advantageous 1v1 clutch. And that's the worst case scenario. But yeah, now you're 2v1. They haven't cleared this corner. Well, they did with a shock, but it's not fully cleared. Okay. Demon 1's going to be playing smokes, sadly. Well, it depends what map it is. I don't think Demon 1's going to be playing smokes on every map. But who knows? I would very much doubt it, though. Not on every map. Oh. Crashies versus Khalil, possible Cypher battle? Yeah. I could also see, I don't think Crashies is going to be on Cypher anymore. I thought that was the case when, I think Crashies might have been playing quite a lot of Cypher when people were playing solo Initiator. But I think now that teams are moving towards double Initiator on a lot of maps, I think Crashies and Ethan are just like going to be playing double Initiator pretty much the whole time. I think Victor's going to be playing a lot of the Sentinel or Duelist. I think any maps where they play Chamber, obviously Demon 1 will be on Chamber. Any maps where they're playing Jet, I would imagine Demon 1's going to be playing Jet, although maybe sometimes Victor might have to pick it up. And then, yeah. But I think, yeah, NRG's roles might be a bit all over the place. Yeah, and Victor will probably be playing Raze quite a bit too, yeah. But the thing is, if Victor plays Raze and it's not a chamber map, the roles do get really weird there. Because I don't think people are going to be playing Solo Initiator. Maybe they play. Maybe you still play Solo Initiator on Split though, because Bind, Chamber, no problem. But Split, maybe you play Solo Initiator and Crashies is still on Cypher.
Muy bien llevándose a Oxy a su homónimo. Por ahora las condiciones se mantienen de 3 rondas de ventaja para la escuadra de Furia, que está furioso. Vemos
Maybe Marv Sentinel, Demon 1 smokes. I don't think that'll happen.
Por ahora las emociones se mantienen a ronda viviendo la
Who knows? We'll see.
seguir descontando y así.
We don't actually know what the meta is right now. So it's pretty difficult to tell what roles people are going to be on.
El punto cero importante para negar, el comando null también para sacar información, la flash y también en estos momentos.
So this is also something that Furia are not doing very much. Furia are not throwing like initiator utility at the start of the round to make it look like MW's in a spot where he actually peeks another spot. Do you know what I mean? They're only throwing the flash over the top here when MW's actually peeking double doors. And they're only throwing the recon dart down mid, at least as far as I'm aware, when he actually goes for it too. I don't think they even threw this knife elbow when he pushed elbow. Could be wrong about that though. Maybe they did. But I don't think they're doing a very good job of disguising where MW's playing. I suppose this round, at least they throw the knife elbow and he's peeking A main. But if he gets pushed off the A main angle, they can reflash him back on. But A main against a Harbor comp is pretty difficult to contest. If they're actually coming A main, you can have a cascade in your face. Why did Havoc just rip his ult? What?
Mapa para sacar información, el punto cero importante para negar, el comando null también para sacar información, la flash y también en estos momentos entramos a otro.
He didn't want to get suppressed, so he just ulted?
Rondita más la ronda número 10, Matanga rápidamente llega a la fuente de Jackie, cae en estos momentos.
And then MW peeked and got killed by Whippy.
Y hacen la apertura al medio y se van para atrás.
Now Liazi's going to try and make the play. And that looks so rough from Liazi.
Pero por ahora lo que viene siendo Cloud Knight tratando de ver cómo pueden seguir descontando. Y a Cintera ya quedan por fuera en este momento. La ronda descuento por parte de Oxy.
As soon as they lose MW, it's just like solo plays everywhere. And this round was just fucked from the beginning because I think Havoc fat-fingered his ult. I mean, if the Fury are playing like that, they're going to get destroyed. Hello?
Ahora es de Furia.
Hello?
¿Qué pasa? Nuevamente pelean también ese.
That's not even an internet problem, because when I pause and start again, it just goes. That's like a Firefox problem or something. All right. So MW is now upping from Nest. He hasn't done that before.
Buen valor del MVP del enfrentamiento. Vamos a ver por acá, vamos a vipera inmediata por parte de Así. Para acá no van a entrar y si se van a arriesgar, se van a
Vanity's coming with his dog.
Recorrido por parte de Shepa, quiere tratar
Firefox? Yeah, these computers all have Firefox set as their default. Don't ask me, I didn't set them up. Okay. They get 2 kills on people who are trying to come through the pit. 3
Con
kills.
esa limpieza sigue, limpieza por parte de Furia. El trabajo por parte de la línea defensiva muy bueno, definitivo, muy buen. O sea, el cómo trataron de indirectamente
Let's skip the rest of this round, I think.
cuchillas de Oxy buscando el cambio.
Come on.
Muy bonito.
30
Qué
seconds
bonito
left.
es el Valorant. Qué bonito, qué bonito tener esta calidad de juego acá en el Superdome Latam de Bogotá.
So MW is going to peek here.
Por ahora nos vamos a la última ronda.
Oh, this time Havoc did use the flash. Okay, so just after I said they're not doing it very often, they do it in the very next round. So Havoc flashed over the top here to make it look like MW's fighting towards mid, when in fact MW's taking the peek over towards B. Now, I don't think this one makes too much sense, because the player who sees the flash in mid, this flash is going to happen like as MW takes contact here. So it's not like somebody's going to... I don't think somebody's going to walk into this. And maybe they are actually, though. Maybe they are. Maybe somebody would like walk up elbow as a reaction to thinking MW's trying to fight aggressively there. But a lot of the time, if you peek this angle, you're going to take the fight within the first like millisecond of the round as somebody tries to scale elbow or scale towards B or something. Wait.
Qué bonito tener esta calidad de juego acá en el Superdome Latam de Bogotá. Por ahora nos vamos a la última ronda antes del cambio de la otra vez.
Oh yeah, that's the Sky Flash, yeah.
Musera con la Operator y ahora en pantalla vemos que ya Musera que se lleva uno más a Jackie que está muy fuera, se quedan sin un controlador, pero la tormenta de cuchillas de Oxy buscando también la apertura por el side de B, todos en economía full, compraron lo que podían comprar en la última ronda, tienen que forzar.
There's that drone instantly again, which I think they're just using the drone in mid from Conan just to try and keep Cloud9 back for the next few seconds while MW repositions.
Le dice para dónde voy, con qué permiso, entrando por el camino equivocado, limpieza por parte de Mushera. Y en este momento tenemos a 5 contra 3 y podría ser hasta el momento la tranquilidad de un equipo que mantiene controlado su site, obviamente sin soltar la otra parte, la contraparte, porque también
The amount that MW gets aggressive just freezes teams. It's really difficult to scale against a guy who's going to be constantly recommitting to your position. Flash recon combo to try to get back in. They also throw Snake Bite and the Molly, using a lot of good utility there to try and keep Cloud9 back. And then Havoc wants to try and take the fight. That seems real aggressive. Peeking at the same time as the knife, but they lose Havoc and Conan. So now it's a lot on Liazzi. He's doing a good job here, just staying alive, waiting for MW as well. He's just doing his job here, just slowing down.
Ojito con Kali que ya venía por la zona media, tenía una oportunidad de ingresar, ¿por qué no? Pero no, Musera, ¿qué dice? Esto es mío. Cierro las puertas.
I think in situations like that, you probably want MW to be holding a line and the others to scale, but whatever.
8-8 en el marcador, para un 8-4 en el total. Bueno, nos vamos para el cambio de lado, 8-4 en tantitos ahí. Cambia muchísimo.
No, I haven't been kicked out yet. Daymans, thank you for the 26 months.
Tanto en ataque como en defensa pueden ser muy buenos en ambos estilos, pero vamos a ver.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time when I'm watching Furia in these like late round situations, I'm seeing potential for it to go wrong. Because they tend to play like spread out as if they're trying to contain the final player when they're already stuck on site, right? Like they're in a retake situation, it's a 3v1 or something, and they're playing like 3 separate angles and then not really closing on them or grouping up together or anything like that. When they played, it was right towards the beginning of the map, but they played a 1vx against Oxy, where Oxy was the final player alive. And they were like, one was coming from B main, one was coming from tunnel, one was coming from nest, and they were not really set up to try to help each other. They've got a very like spread out and ambush them technique, which just offers the 1vx player opportunities to turn it into a series of 1v1s, I think. So, yeah. I think
¿Qué cambios pueden haber?
I think that could be a real big issue. And it might make the NRG players look like gods if they're able to pull off some of those, like, 1vx clutches.
Con la
How did they not get this guy? What, MW? Yeah, I mean, if you wanted somebody to replace Aspas who has that kind of aggressive style, MW would be the dude to do it. The thing is, I think Aspas plays with a lot more patience a lot of the time, and is happier to not be the focal point of the team. Even though Aspas can be, and often is, like, the focal point of the team, MW always is, if he's playing duelist. So... All right, so we've skipped the beginning of this round, the first 10 seconds. Furia already in on the B side. Jake's already behind. I like this fast flank. See, that's another thing that Furia weren't really doing. On defense, MW was sometimes pushing behind them, but other people weren't. And I think there's definitely opportunities for them. If MW or Khalil are anchoring the hard B side, there's opportunities for these players to push around and try and take control of this area. But they're players who are defending over here. If it was like Liazi and Havoc or Liazi and Conan, something like that, they were normally playing really like passive A positions instead of actually ever trying to take aggressive space. And I think flank retaking like this is so good. Especially if you have someone like MW anchoring B, where he's just going to slow them down for ages. So that might be something missing a little bit. Why are you in an evil lair? I'm not in an evil lair. This is, this is the center of the Riot compound. What do you mean an evil lair? In Baal's temple. Yeah. It would make a good temple to Baal, actually. Come on, you little fucker. Get past the tech pause.
Esta partida en la 14ª ronda. Absolutamente toda la escuadra de Cloud9. Rápidamente llega la flecha. Bien buscado. Está en estos momentos.
Oh, there's just no way that the internet's this bad. There's just no way. I don't believe it. It's YouTube trying to counter the ad block. I don't have a fucking ad block. Like, I'm not even signed in. No ad block.
Que están jugando muy bien y ahora entramos en el cambio de lado para la ronda bonus, ronda número 15.
Okay.
Listo, vamos entonces. Les vamos 10-4 marcador.
So they're double facing at the very beginning of the round over towards B to push back anybody who might be playing that angle, which Vanity was. Then they get close to B. Wall, knife, drone. Heavy investment here. No Cypher on the other side to have to deal with. They know the Whippy's there. They don't have anybody incoming after MW. MW just out on his own there, trying to get into B. He dashes at the beginning and tries to push off the back of the drone. But, you know, like here, the rest of his team is not in yet. And he just loses the duel. Whippy ends up getting 3.
Tratando de ayudar un poco para marcar, para que no sea tan diferente el 2 contra 1. Vamos a ver a Jake, lo que viene siendo Shepa, tratando de llevarse la vida de Conan para quitarle, porque no la quinta ronda a favor de Cloud9. Ya sabe hacia dónde tienen que disparar. Castigo por parte de los jugadores que están alineados. Vamos viendo, poco a poco, tiene muy poca vida.
Firefox is used to skip the ads, so they fucked it for everyone. What? How do you use Firefox just to skip ads?
Terminado de una forma diferente. Pero en este momento tenemos la quinta de las nubes.
Bueno, nos vamos en estos momentos para la 16ª ronda y rápidamente estaba Shepa con el punto 0, se va hacia atrás.
Oh, dude, this is criminal. This is actually... Alright, we're using a different browser. This is killing me. This is killing me. Alright, let's use Microsoft Edge. Where were we up to? 328.
Comenzando a stackearse casi
What's wrong with Chrome? I don't know whether the PC has it.
una estándar. Están jugando casi una estándar, pero no, ya decidieron estar un full stack ahí. Están atrás por escombros, se van recogiendo el orbe. Rápidamente Havoc ya tiene su orbe disponible y el comando null, el hack command de punto.
So they tried to get set up for a fast A strat. Didn't quite work. So now they're backing up. So this is Conan's IGLing on the attack side here. They are trying to get set up for fast site execs, and this is what happens when they aren't able to execute them. They back up. Conan's kept the spike over towards A though. They're making noise in mid to try and fake as if they crossed. And now they're coming back to A. Zeppa KO flashed into A. Don't know why. Maybe just to threaten like Oxy was there. They wait out the knife. Now they get forwards. Okay, good timing from Furia here to get back onto an A exec. Liazzi should have his fuel up as well. Here comes the ult. They're in with the drone. That's a good trade from Havoc though. Havoc's nade is quite nice actually. Good nade, good shock darts, putting pressure onto the players over towards yellow. And now they're going to back off and play a full post plant away from the site. Zeppa kills 2 there. Don't really understand how. 2v2. What? Don't know what's going on there. Gotta be honest with you. Zeppa killing 2 is ridiculous, and then Conan, the full blind spraying to kill Zeppa is bonkers. Don't know. Why is it called Plat Chat if you're all Ascendant Plus? I thought you guys were my people. Do we ever have someone on that's... Yeah, we do occasionally have people on who have got bad ranks. We sometimes have people on the show who are like plat level. Alright, so Furia again playing 3A main at the start of the round. What's Mimi? Mimi's diamond, I think. Like fairly high diamond, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen Mimi play in a while. Mimi, I think, has been Ascendant before. I don't think Mimi's been Immortal before, though. Name one except TMV? Well, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know what the ranks of some of the Pacific people are because we don't play with them. Because the ping is so bad. Things are getting really chaotic here, but MW's doing a good job at doubling up with Liazzi and taking duels in little duos. That was a bit over-aggressive from Khalil, but they're still in a 2v1. Yeah, I like the way that they actually worked that. It was getting super chaotic, but they just made sure that they double-faced over towards double door, then double-faced back sight. Yeah, that was a nice bit of team play there from Furia when things looked a bit chaotic. Khalil's with them. He helps with the cage as well. MW had the spike in the midst of all that too.
Conan asegurando la 12ª ronda.
I'm not really focused on what C9 are doing. I'm just trying to pay attention to Furia and how they're dealing with situations.
Y lo estamos disfrutando acá dentro del Superdome Latam, en el Coliseo Med Plus, en la ciudad de Bogotá. Nos vamos en este momento, la fosa vípera que llega por parte de Whippy, la escuadra de Cloud9. Comodísimo está la escuadra de Furia para buscarle el entry. Estaban jugando una estándar, pero ya con la ulti la fosa
Furia are very, very focused on taking A main at the start, even if it means 3 of their players get suppressed. They're not worried about mid at all. I don't think Furia have been mid once. And because they've been defaulting Khalil over to the elbow side of the map a lot, Vanity getting that info doesn't really mean anything for C9.
Errores porque saben que es la última en este momento. Tienen que hacer las cosas.
For all he knows, it might just be the
puede
Cypher.
fallar. El momento de frenar el plantado de la Spike tiene que ser perfecto.
Khalil goes for the jump peek as well, so it makes it look like it's only the Cypher there.
Información por parte de Khalil. Casi se llevaba un poco de daño, pero no alcanzaba, no había la suficiente precisión para llevarse por lo menos un poquito de estamina de ese jugador. Por acá tenemos a Oxy que ya tiene contacto, se tiene que mover.
Oxy doesn't get caught trying to leave.
Van a empezar a avanzar. ¿O será que tiene que intentar también por
MW's used his dash though.
Ya tienen ingresando 3 jugadores.
Oh, and they're going for... Conan's called for them to go on an A split here as well as he drones out the pit. So, yeah, I like their attack side calling here, to be honest. Furia... the default completely ignores mid, which I think you could certainly get abused by. Certainly. And they probably will by other teams, but for the way that Cloud9 is playing right now, Furia have A main control, elbow control, make it look like they could be threatening a B split, put some pressure over towards Nest, and then now very quickly going into an A split where Conan's droning out the pit and putting a lot of pressure on Whippy. So this looks pretty good. MW with the entry. Jake trades. This is where things are sloppy though, because when MW goes for... When NW gets the entry, this one, maybe he's not expecting another player to be stairs, which pretty reasonable. He ends up dying. The next player is really quite far behind. Like, they're not playing tight to MW. But now you're in a situation where Liazzi and Havoc have got to try to avoid getting caught by Whippy, who they know is playing Pyramid, whilst continuing to put pressure onto Jake. And instead, Havoc just kind of swings out wide while Liazzi's not doing too much. Yeah, I guess he's jumping up top. But they're, yeah, it's not coordinated. They're not putting pressure on Jake at the same time. It's the same kind of stuff as when they get into these late round situations. Too many player advantage spots that I think are going to get given away. Plat is basically average now. Actually, silver is average, as far as I'm aware. Like, high silver, low gold is average. They've got a bit of an unusual system, Riot. Let's go, I'm average. Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude, if you're a plat player, you're fucking owning it, okay? You're doing good. Now, in reality, you have no idea what you're doing like 90% of the time, but you're better than most people. Fuck yeah. No, it's always been silver gold average. I think you're getting it mixed up with Overwatch or something. What if you're hard stuck at MO3? It's worse than peaking at plat or something. Hard stuck Immortal 3 is worse than peaking plat.
Y una ronda económica que tiene que sacar Furia luego de no poder cerrar el mapa. Comienzan a rushar, la frente llega, pero también llega la flecha en estos momentos por parte de ese Harbor. Y hay Cloud9 y una ronda económica que tiene que sacar Furia.
Can I watch this round?
Comienzan a rushar, la frente llega, pero también llega la flecha en estos momentos por parte de ese Harbor.
This VOD just doesn't have this round in it. Okay. All right. We'll go to the next one, I guess.
Viene armamento del que me gusta por el lado del equipo defensivo. Llega el Operator. Vamos a ver entonces por acá lo que viene siendo Oxy, que empieza agresivo. Quiere defender, pero también adelantar. Quiere empezar a descontar.
A good reaction from Khalil there, just to make sure that he doesn't get caught.
Avance por parte de la línea de Cloud9. Por acá información canina.
Dog breaks the trip, but again, they've still only seen the fact that Khalil is over on this side.
Vamos a ver por acá lo que viene siendo Oxy. Tratando de buscar el pixel, buscando alguien por medio, alguien que pueda llevarse una bala. y empezar a descontar.
What is Liazzi's position doing here? It's just watching, A main, just defending, any kind of aggressive push.
Para nuestra querida
le quitó el operator.
Okay.
¿Qué le dice? Musera que le dice
MW.
que no más, que para dónde vas, que con ese operator no puedes trabajar.
MW really is that guy. And there we go. So that kind of aggression from Jake is something that Furia weren't going for. He sees MW up here, and he knows that the Cypher is around this side of the map as well. So he's thinking, okay, they're probably set up to go for some kind of B split at this point. So I'm going to try and push out so that I have a good retake positioning, because they're in a 4v5 anyway, right? So it's worth him taking some level of a risk. But Liazzi's watching for it. So again, it's a very... The way that Furia are approaching Breeze, at least this version of Breeze, they'll probably change it up, is quite a passive default that's focused on elbow and A main control. A main if they're planning to go into A, or elbow if they're planning to take mid. They're not really ever pathing like this. But they've still got, yeah, Liazzi and Conan watching over towards A main for anything like what Jake went for. You can watch that round on the Riot Esports Network, which also gives you access to all previous VCT VODs and Tier 1 off-season event VODs for the low cost of $12.99 a month. Dude, I would pay for that. I would pay for that. Tragic. Yeah, I'm not going to watch any of the Furia India VODs. That's an interesting pit. It gives Liazzi like a little safe corner to play in. Cool pit. I don't think Liazzi needs to be the one contesting the spike there, but I guess he's already used his snake bites. Alright, so all in all, what did we learn from this? I think the only player who looked extremely good here on Furia was MW. The way that they were setting him up with Havoc's utility was pretty decent, but Havoc only looked okay in situations where he wasn't playing supportively. It wasn't like he had any major impact in the rest of these rounds. He didn't really find any opportunities to like get aggressive through a wall or flash onto somebody. His general utility though is pretty good. Like he's playing a supportive KO quite nicely. His fragging seems okay. Liazzi seemed a little bit shook, but he still understood what he was supposed to do on this map. He had like set Viper setups. He was going for this retake wall. He had this on the attack side. He was mostly throwing this wall. You know, either playing back towards here or supporting the rest of his team when they went up for A main control, stuff like that. But the coordination didn't look amazing. This was fairly early in Furia playing though, so hopefully they've gotten a little better. But I think Liazzi and Havoc are going to be the people that really make or break this team, and I wasn't that impressed with what Liazzi was doing with his like mechanics and decision making. The preset stuff was still pretty good though. I think Conan's attack side calling was perfectly fine in this game. I think he had some nice audibles on the attack side, and to be honest, on the defense side, you just leave it up to MW wherever he wants to fight. So you don't really need to be calling too much on the defense side at the start of the rounds. You just need to be like, yeah, to be honest, I would imagine that Conan does not need to be calling very much on defense, because depending on where MW takes fights or what info MW gets, MW should actually be able to call like most of the defensive rotations, because he's just so fucking active on defense. Khalil's playing a super heavy hard anchor on defense, and to be honest, is not really doing too much, because most of the time the rounds are getting, like, he's either put in a player advantage or disadvantage situation before the sight hit comes through, because MW is that aggressive. It'd be probably a good idea for MW to tone it back sometimes if they're hitting Khalil's sight, because I think you get more value off playing together rather than Khalil just baiting MW. I think that might end up being a bit of an issue. Like, if MW's having an off day, but he still tries to force it, you want to be able to rely on Khalil to be that player to play off of. And on defense side and on attack side, Furia mostly ignored mid, although on the attack side, they did take it via elbow sometimes. But the actual map macro stuff is going to have all changed with the map changing, so I'm not too focused on that. All right, so, okay. Let's let's take a look at the next map. What's the next one? Was it Sunset? Okay, so Sunset's really weird for Furia because Sunset, they were playing this composition, which is double smoke, solo initiator, chamber, raise, where Havoc plays raise. But then at the end of Convergence, they swapped their composition and put MW on Neon. And the thing with that is, I don't know if this is going to be their new comp or if they've changed it again. I would imagine they've changed it again. I don't think either of these are going to be their comp that they actually run if they play Sunset. But they were getting slapped playing this comp with the Havoc Raise MW Chamber. So I don't think it's even worth me watching this. Can I show you something? Can I send a link? You will love this. An awesome new roster video and some other things. Yeah, go for it. Go for it, John. I still think the send comp clears. Yeah, okay. Your message got deleted, but I opened it anyway. What is this?
Nas profundezas do mundo competitivo, onde anda
Is he sipping neat Red Bull? That's a nice touch.
a ambição e a vitória se encontram. Muitos subestimaram, alguns desacreditaram do bicho-papão. Mas agora, unidos, eles
I wish this had subtitles.
alcançaram o inimaginável. Agora, eles são Hero Base.
Quatro contra dois, o round tá virando. Pra equipe da FURIA. Askia! Traz mais uma, olha as kunais aqui do garoto. Na negativa, Askia de novo. Trabalhando.
Wait, this is so well done. The fucking music is blowing my ears out though. What's the state of the game there? Wait, fuck. He had King Jack of Spades. Yo. I mean, assuming that's a flop, that's a fucking nasty flop. What was the rest? Was that an ace at the end there? Ace of clubs? Okay. I mean, you've probably still won if you have a king on that board. This looks like a pretty good roster. Okay, I can never remember which of the Union players have felony records. Can someone remind me? Is it Pank? Yeah, I thought it was Pank. So wait a second. So this is, dude, this fucking video, which is so well made, is like making them look like the anti-heroes when actually they're just, I mean, it's just, it's just the people willing to play with the pieces of shit, basically. Am I wrong? Beautifully done video, though. Beautifully done video. Great concept, great design. Listen, if you're going to make a roster like this work, if you're going to make anybody like you when you have a record of grooming underage people, then you need to brand yourself as an anti-hero. But, I mean, to be honest, I can't think of many groomers that I think of as an anti-hero. The two things don't really go hand in hand. This is the biggest Brazilian org in Fortnite. Oh, sick. I mean, they've done a fantastic job with the video. Fantastic job with the video. But, and I think that looks like a really competent roster too. But just can't root for... I just can't root for them. Just can't root for them. What do they do? I think Pank was involved with somebody underage, weren't they? Anyway. Furia will focus on MW as duelist and Havoc as flex. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will. What I was saying was, the Sunset comp, though, I'm not sure that they're going to play exactly this version. I would be surprised if they played... Well, first of all, because they... Wait, did they beat Global with this? I remember MW dropped like fucking 30 kills or something, and the rest of his team had none. Where was it? Furia, it was against Global, Sunset. Yeah, Global won, even though MW dropped 29 kills on Neon with 400 ACS. Now, this was also the tournament where the rest of Furia were... They had the shitting disease. I mean, it may not have been the disease. It may just be that they were unused to the food as well. But, yeah, I'm not sure that I really want to VOD review this because I know that this isn't Furia playing at their best. I doubt it's going to be the same composition as well. But this is like a very stereotypical MW farms, no one else does anything kind of game. Oh. This game you can't consider. Khalil shit in his pants 3 times in the same map. I'm sorry. That shouldn't be funny, but I mean, that isn't funny. That isn't funny. That's just being really ill. That's not funny. But yeah, I don't think I'll watch that game because I don't think it makes sense to review that. It's a little funny. It's, I mean, the idea of the admins letting him go to the bathroom and then being like, right, you're taking the piss now. Yeah, I'm not going to let you to the bathroom again. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to have to shit my pants then, aren't I? But, yeah. That's, poor guys. I mean, not just Khalil, but poor everyone. Okay. Anyway. What was I doing here? Right, yeah, so I don't think I'm going to watch their Sunset game. Because... Is this it? The Sunset game? Yeah. I don't think I'm going to watch the Sunset game because I don't think they're going to play the same comp at all. I just don't think it's going to be relevant in the slightest. But I think we should watch this Ascent game. EG? Have I not already seen this?
Es un mapa muy lindo, un mapa que me gusta, un mapa que...
They're doing they're doing the jail thing themselves, huh? What, Potter's got visiting rights? Oh no, she's not at the jail. What's going on here?
It's taken some work. But I finally have them. The squad's been assembled.
Whoa, listen, Potter. I'm new here from Counter-Strike. I have no idea what's going on. All I've heard were the rumors.
Oh, which one?
No, I think he's talking about with the 2020, letting them do whatever they want.
Wait. The
Oh, he's the twit.
Dudes, focus.
I like the editing, but they are not selling the acting here.
I want to assemble a task force of the baddest
Potter can't help
volunteers on
smiling.
the planet who I think can do some good around here.
So they're the worst, but in a good way.
Exactly.
Don't tell me. You're gonna pitch us another lineup of underdogs that, under your guidance, is gonna defy expectations and win it all.
Well, yes. But this time people are gonna listen.
Yeah, let's see how you doing.
Spoiler, no, they're not. Spoiler, no. You're definitely still getting doubted, actually. But nice idea for the video. Crime Overwatch is a very funny thing to have. Crime, Monopoly Go Whale? I don't even know what that means. Is that a mobile game, Monopoly Go?
Position again, they're coming in from both sides at once, but there goes the lineup for Nature. The peak comes forth, and it's looking have to be the 6-man ace possibly. Oh, and it's looking good for it's Nature.
I love this little corner you can play in. And
Crime slept on. Okay.
and it's a great transfer.
Overwatch at the moment is certainly the funniest.
A-pod and flies through 4 members.
Crime Discord kitten. Okay, that's another banger.
It's just one, and Super's completely detained. He'll be finished off no problem. Now all of a sudden pressure on towards his quite the baseline. Retracking back right into the waiting arms of A-Pop, who secures the full ace.
Sheesh. These are some real villains, Potter.
Oh, dude, the concept of the video is fine, but the dialogue and the acting is killing me.
What makes you think you can control them?
Because it's my job to make world champions.
Someone wrote this script and Real thought they were cooking.
Jaw, what are you doing? Come on, man, we got scrims.
Wait, so I'm free?
What?
Yo, ready, man?
Okay, they didn't tie the jail part into any of the rest of the video. They just used the jail part as a complete, a complete non sequitur. It just didn't fit with anything else that was going on. Okay, they had some fun parts in that video though. There were some good parts. It definitely was not up there with the best videos of the off-season, but there were some fun bits. And to be honest, considering how many resources EG are working with, that's pretty damn good. Fuck. Dude, I'm trying to do a VOD review today. Stop making me just watch a bunch of different G2. I don't want to watch all of these videos over and over again. Guys, if you want to watch some fucking videos, go and watch the videos. I do kind of want to watch this. No, we'll watch it after this VOD. After this VOD, okay? I want to watch the VOD. I don't just want to be a React streamer. Okay. Let me get sorted. So, Havoc's on KO again, Conan's on Sova, Liazi's on Smokes, all makes sense. Let's have a look at this game.
Cuando me toquen mis rankeds digo, ah, qué alegría, papá.
Watch this. Angie. This is from 1992. This is from 1992.
Brimstone's out.
Spike down,
I'm Darn job.
One enemy remaining.
Darn.
Revealing area.
She's in a little cubby, I think.
Honestly, my Phoenix was cooking in that clip. What the fuck? Where did you even find that?
Me gusta jugar y obviamente también se le hizo realidad el sueño a Paula.
When he still had a hair. Alright, so this is the pistol round. MW's bought a sheriff again.
Así que vamos a ver por qué esta historia comienza.
Based in my opinion, actually.
Vamos ahora sí al decider acá en el Superdome Latano y por favor los que están atrás de una bulla fuerte para cerrar este.
A fucking a full utility KO and not planning to use any of it at the start of the round. That's bizarre. I would have thought they'd go for like the market flash into B main or something.
Ahora en estos momentos llega el dardo eléctrico por parte de Conan sacando información, pero se le cuela rápido por dentro. ¡Ay! Así, ahí estaba, puede ser la doble, pero en estos momentos corresponde a Kelly. Shepa que se llama rápidamente, generando la venganza con condición.
1 for 2 over towards Catwalk isn't great, but mostly just aim duels.
Ya, vamos a ver entonces, ya tenemos el 4 contra 3 en este momento, la Spike ya plantada y tenemos el tic-tac en contra de la línea defensiva. Por acá recorrido por parte de Oxy, está preparado obviamente para ver cualquier persona.
So Havoc bought full utilities, still hasn't used any of the util. He's got a shit ton here for the retake though. Alright, Knife spots 2 players over towards, you know, somewhere towards Hell, Jenny, Dice. The nade does a lot of damage, I think. And Vanity wins a 1v1 with the classic. Well, I don't even understand what Furia's idea was in that pistol round.
Seis kills al bolsillo. De una vez, para la escuadra en ese momento del Havoc que lo suelta hacia atrás, tiene que irse en estos momentos, quedan 2 agentes replegados y la paranoia, el Kamehameha listo para dejar denegada la visión, tiene que irse en este
What are they doing here? They went knife for knife. So now because MW didn't get suppressed, they're going to try and re-clear B main with like MW dashing on them or something? They blind 3 or 4 people, 3 people. Vanity's droning. But they don't set this up with a... They don't try to one-way. They don't try to... They haven't thrown a nade in this corner. They didn't use a flash in case somebody had dodged the paranoia. They haven't set it up with a one-way. They're just trying to get back in with the paranoia. I mean, they've had to dash leave. That's not a proper re-clear of A main, man. That's just half-assed. At least throw the KO molly. Maybe Havoc didn't want to because he was suppressed at the beginning when they went for the re-clear. But he still had time later on. Alright, so they catch the Jet. They know that the knives have been suppressed. They should be expecting an A re-hit, so they should keep 3 players on A. Just because of where the Jet is. Recon used over towards B.
La condición se mantiene 5-5 y hacia atrás están muy atrás la escuadra de Furia y también el Orbe que recoge rápidamente Vanity, elige él el dardo eléctrico para sacar información, de llegar alguna habilidad, condición de 5-5, menos 35 segundos, la tormenta de cuchillas de Oxy. Vamos a ver si entra por el side de A, pero por ahora...
They still have 3A. They should be expecting this A re-hit. Here comes the attacking knife again. Doesn't actually catch anybody, I don't think. But Oxy dashes into the smoke and kills Havoc, as Jake just swings and kills MW on Heaven. Yeah, I mean, a lot of duels lost there, to be honest. I mean, 2 duels, really. It's Liazi and MW who are expected to be able to get some kills. I'm not exactly sure how MW goes down. I would expect him to be favored there. Yeah, I mean, he just gets one-tapped by Jake.
Conan lo encontró por zona de mercados, vaya a ser el mercado, sí señores. Por ahora la condición se mantiene para la escuadra de Cloud9. Vanity que cae, ojo con eso, porque Conan está ahí pendiente de cómo va el juego. Por zona de árbol también está Shepa, tranquilito. Detrás haciendo un poquito de sustain con la tormenta de cuchillas y la Guardian que
Yeah, I think full utility on pistol as KO is not considered the best unless you have a specific pistol round strat that uses a lot of it. And if that's the case, you need to be taking tempo at the beginning of the round. Otherwise, if you're forced to react to what they're doing, you're not really going to be be able to use your utility properly. Most people on this map as KO are going to be buying like Ghost Nade or Ghost Flash sometimes. But as you saw with Havoc on pistol, he just didn't use any of his utility because he wasn't... They didn't have a plan that worked for it. So you're better off getting more of the guaranteed value of using your rifle. So I'm going to skip this eco round. Well, Cloud9 are already off to a great start.
Desatado yo muy bien con eso totalmente descontrolada alguien que le
What the fuck am I watching?
molestos del equipo de Furia.
Okay, 22, 21.
Así es, vamos
Oh, here we go, here we go. So this is the start of the round again.
Ronda y la economía muy tocada y tiene que forzar lo que pueda la escuadra de Furia.
Así es, vamos a ver entonces cómo sigue funcionando Saudin.
They did a lot of chip damage there, didn't they? To Zeppa, Oxy, and Jake. Yeah, some decent chip damage.
Trabajo adicional por parte.
And Havoc doesn't realize that Oxy's trying to get aggressive at the start. Maybe thinks it's Keone kept them back.
El jugador que no alcanzaba a disparar. Buen trabajo por parte de Havoc.
Let's go back and take another look at this.
La serie por ahora, la ventaja la mantiene la escuadra de Cloud9. Nos vamos para la quinta ronda y la economía muy tocada y tiene que forzar lo que pueda la escuadra de Furia.
Así es, vamos a ver entonces cómo sigue funcionando Saudin. El trabajo adicional por parte del jugador que no alcanzaba a disparar. Buen trabajo por parte de Havoc para quitarse la presión de Oxy.
It just looks really uncoordinated between Havoc and Liazzi here. The paranoia at the beginning that Jake throws out, I think just sends them for a loop. But they obviously planned to try and fight over A main, and Liazzi was in a position where he couldn't help Havoc. And now he's been pushed to the back, he's been like reconned, he's been naded, he's going to find it difficult to survive. Yeah. Jake does a good job here of getting aggressively in. Almost dies. Okay, and then MW manages to get one, pushing out behind that smoke that Liazzi threw. So now this is still winnable, 3v3 retake.
Del jugador Muser hacia atrás tiene que replegarse porque la Odin está presente acá. Cloud9 no es, ahora es Cloud, Odin y replegados se van hacia atrás. Y señores, tan difícil ya rápidamente que el correspondiendo con la pero el Conan.
Conan goes for the trade. They know that Jake has repositioned or faked it, but MW is holding the angle in a 1v1 and MW wins it. I mean, MW is just pretty extraordinary. The rest of the team looks, you know, like they're struggling in some of these spots. That fight over A main at the beginning of the round, just if Havoc hadn't been able to win the duel against the player that got up in his face, Oxy, then that was going very badly. But I think Jade did a good job in that round of continuing to push the tempo, realizing that Liazzi was backpedaling. But yeah, that's an MW round. This round is trying to dodge the knife at the start. Realizes that it's another fast A hit. Now MW can get back up into heaven. MW really needs someone else's distraction to play off though, and no one else is hard anchoring. Zeppa's used his ult here. I think he managed to cancel one pulse of the Silver ult. Here comes the post-plant Silver ult. Well, I did actually catch on to MW.
En estos momentos llega la furia del cazador de Vanity para sacar información y evitar el retake. Atención porque llega en estos momentos el velo.
So much spam and utility being used. But it's not coordinated from the retakers. They are managing to get back in on the angles though. They're not worried so much about using coordinated utility. They're just worried about answering the attacker's post-plant utility and then getting onto angles. But the way in which they get onto the angles is fairly decent. I don't know how Liazzi gets out so easily through the breakable door. He basically just chads his way through the one-way. Yeah, he just runs through the one-way. You look at Liazzi here, he just picks a timing to run through as the rest of his team are swinging onto heaven. So it's good timing from everybody. But certainly if there'd been a player Jenny watching over towards here, then Liazzi would have died. This would have triggered somebody to jump down here, you know, these kind of things. So we don't really see it play out in that kind of manner. Instead, Furia just get established onto the angles because Cloud9 are mostly hiding in the post plant. And that lets them flood in.
A responder, tratar de sacarle el mayor provecho y por qué no aprovechar este buen performance para regresar.
Se está despertando muy bien la escuadra de Furia, está jugando.
All right, so you know that MW is opping, so Cloud9 might be trying to figure out like exactly where he's playing. Liazzi gets caught by that knife. The drone has seen things. Good spam as well, actually, from Vanity. MW is weak and is still trying to get aggressive. This turret has controlled B main. So that's really nicely done from Furia, to be honest. MW just holding the position that you expect the Killjoy to sometimes be playing in. I mean, obviously, Whippy might not be playing from that position, but that's the position where Khalil can get punished from, and so MW just holds it, and they set up a nice early kill for themselves. So even with Cloud9 trying to play around the op, they've still got picked by it.
Porque cualquier trabajo adicional, pero no le importa. Se va hasta adelante, casi al spawn.
So now that they know where the operator is, now they're going to try to accelerate.
A tratar de limpiar y se quitó de encima a una Killjoy que todo el tiempo estaba brindando información.
They throw like the, it's almost like the fennel smoke, actually. But it's to get them through this choke point, and they jump in there all together and overwhelm Havoc, who's, you know, Havoc's playing in this position where he has a flash to work with, but you can't really do much when you get smoked like that. Dude, has my browser crashed? Okay, there we go. What is going on today? So here, Havoc is playing from A main, right? They're doubled up A main. Then he goes back to switch. And if he spots them coming up here, he can try to pop flash and recontest. He can swing from here, while Conan swings from here. And they can get pretty decent angles onto some of the blind players in tree. But that smoke is a nice on-the-fly thing that Jake throws. And look, it just lets them get inside of it with a shock dart and with a shorty. They swing inside of it with 3 players, overwhelm Havoc. And now it is a little difficult for them to get out of the smoke again versus Liazzi and Conan. We'll see how they do that. Just dash out of it. Get the kill on Liazzi. Vanity fucks up his dart. Good double face from Cloud9. Yeah, nice on the fly fast play there from C9. Good from Jake, good from Oxy. This guy's too good. They need to get more value out of Khalil. They need to make these rounds more possible. Oh, he's got the wrong read on where the guy's gone. Nice little pre-fire by Vanity. Good idea. Thank you for the 100 bits, Monkey Meatloaf. And appreciate the sub, Midnight Blues 94. And Daymans as well. Thank you for the paid subs. Those help the Partner Plus mods. I found the greatest Lethal Company mod. Needy Cats. I'm not going to look at Lethal Company mods. There's no chance that I'm going to be able to play Lethal Company. All right, so yeah. So I think they could get more value out of Khalil, but I think a lot of it is just going to come down to them playing less aggressively on defense. Because I don't think you want to force Khalil to take duels and stuff when he's playing Sentinel. It's more that you want to push people into Khalil rather than always trying to have MW be the person. Like, MW takes a fight in one direction and then immediately tries to reposition. I think sometimes they should allow MW to just lock down one side of the map while Khalil locks down the other, rather than having MW so mobile. I think a lot of the time the mobility's good, but it does mean that Khalil just doesn't have that much value, because anywhere Khalil is playing, MW is going to be trying to take fights before they hit the Killjoy or Cypher. Let's skip this round, because C9 winning the clutch there cements their economy. Thanks for the 100 bits, Glua. Alright, it looks like Furia might win this round. No, not quite. Okay, so start of this round again. MW is going to try and get aggressive. Conan couldn't break the dart for him there. and MW didn't cloudburst it. So now they're going to immediately try to take mid control. This is where Conan was droning on Breeze to try to push them back. They cancelled the Omen ult from Jake, and Liazzi was... Yeah, Liazzi's assuming that that's a B split, and Liazzi ults to... I think the purpose of this ultimate from Liazzi is that if Jake ults and then you ult immediately afterwards into backside, you're going to be able to stop the Omen ult from getting very much value. But I mean, he's so much later than Jake on the ult. And he's so much later that they've actually already cancelled the ult by the time he ults. Now, they probably didn't com that they cancelled it. But that seems like a really bizarre protocol to have, I think. Anyway, they're back over here. They've cancelled the Omen ult. So maybe this is all fucking 5-head and they're trying to bait the play in. And Liazzi's just going to, you know, blind them. Because like a paranoia here would go crazy for Liazzi and Havoc to fight over this. But Liazzi has not got his paranoia out. Yeah, they play off the KO flash instead. It's not that that's a terrible idea, but I think you could have also thrown a paranoia in there. Oxy out duels Havoc. And I must say at this point too that having watched a fair bit of Havoc in the offseason, I did think he was going to be a bit better than this, because I thought he played really well in like tier 2 in terms of his rifling skill. But he is getting outskilled fairly regularly by these top-level players. I think he's still pretty skilled, though. I still think he's probably the third most skilled player on the team. Alright, FURIA are going to save in a 3v4 retake.
Por ahora, lo que cada side o en cada punto también de árbol, los duelos no los puede hacer solo la escuadra de Furia, solamente quedó en esos momentos Liazzi.
Uh-oh. Alright, so this round we've got MW peeking cat with the operator. They should see that mid is smoked. MW gets the kill on Oxy. Was there any utility there to push away a cat player at all? I don't think there was. It looks like they might swing out through a cloudburst. Yeah, they do. They've swung out through Oxy's cloudburst to try and like double face catwalk, but MW just gets one and then is able to tuck before he gets punished. On the other side though, Khalil's trying to take an aggressive fight and dies. Yeah, I do want to see Khalil get value, but again, this is one of those rounds where I could see if MW stays over towards A, this is a round where Khalil can just play an anchor position and might actually get a really big value round. Because Oxy's dead, they've got to split into the sites. You're not going to be under as much pressure when the Jet's dead. It's a great round for Khalil to get value, and instead, he peeks aggressively and dies in B main. MW getting aggro again, getting mobile, picks up another, goes over towards B. MW's constantly got the read on where teams are going. Trying to play fast against MW is very difficult, but they have picked up a couple of players there. 2v2 retake. They're worried about MW. Now MW's on his own. Can he get a rifle? I think it's winnable with a rifle.
pueden hacerlo. Segundo intento de plantado.
Oh, he's so aggressive. He just, look how, the way that MW plays is that he assumes people are scared of him. Like, he's expecting both of the players there to be playing behind cover because they're worried about getting opt. So he's playing so ballsy, opening himself up with the operator to many, many angles, because he just assumes his opponents are going to be terrified and hiding. And I think the less respect you give MW, the better. Against an Opper, the more that you're worried about them, the more freedom they have to be able to get onto more and more aggressive angles. Yeah, he shows very little respect to his opponents. And yeah, I would be scared as well. And I think it's reasonable for teams to be scared of MW because he's fucking crazy. But at the same time, I think it's important that you are not scared of him because otherwise he gets away with stuff like that. So now he's got a hero rifle. He's miles away from getting his ult online, by the way. So is someone else just going to drop him in the next round if he dies? They are very fast. Getting super aggressive on the defense. Once more, this leaves Khalil in the, like, you know, spot where he just has to get info on A and play the retake. Sad for Khalil.
Comienzan a plantar la spike, 8-2 el marcador, ahora la situación de retail la tiene que efectuar la escuadra de Furia, la fragmentación que llega por Kevin, pero por ahora no sacan información, ahí estaba también Jackie correspondiendo a Havoc, condición de 5 para 4, otra vez la Furia del cazador, también en estos momentos el paso sombrío lo van a encontrar, si señor por el generador, pero rápidamente corresponde Musera, Uzi que se lleva en estos momentos alias y doble para alias y ahí estaba, pero Khalil con la Cherry se lo lleva a Uzi, ahí estaba, condición de 3.
There's only 7 bullets left in that gun.
Y podemos seguir por aún.
I don't think that's going to do the job.
El intento por parte del desplante, pero no se daba. Conan que descontaba. Vamos a ver el 2 contra 1, aunque el tic-tac ya está demasiado encima. Sigue tratando de tocarla, pero no puede. Presionando, ya sabe dónde estamos. Por lo menos un ojito. Puede ser, puede ser.
Nice try, Conan. Nice try. This is a disastrous defensive half, though, for Furia. And I think part of the reason that it's been such a disaster is that Ascent is a map where the defenders have advantages as the attackers try to get into areas. Like it's difficult to get out through B. It's difficult to get out into A. It's difficult to try to push catwalk. It's like all of these things are tough, and the defenders have tons of different ways of being able to play crossfires and set up one-ways and all of this kind of stuff. And have a big Killjoy setup. But honestly, Cloud9 because the way that Furia defends, they're fighting in spots before Cloud9 even get to the difficult parts. So Cloud9 are able to identify holes and get to the sites, sometimes in even player disadvantage situations, but they're able to open up holes because Furia are moving around the map so much. They're not trying to funnel them into choke points. I think this style of defense works way better on Breeze than it does on Ascent. Look, they're fighting them in B main, like before they even get to the site. This round it works though. But they're so aggressive. So aggressive.
Y la tercera ronda de Furia, la velocidad de la luz en un parpadeo. No alcanzaste ni a voltear a mirar. Vamos por la...
Is this the wrong approach to the map? Yeah, in my opinion, it is, yeah. What the fuck is going on here? It says halftime 9-2. It was 9-3, right? Yeah. Oh. I think MW is mechanically as good as, yeah, basically any other top duelist player. I mean, dude, Demon 1 is actually fucking different. Like, when we talk about people's mechanics, we need to start, like, excluding Demon 1 from the conversation, because that guy's, like, raw mechanics are just fucking outrageous. But the thing that makes MW more susceptible to getting blown out by top teams is that he takes a huge amount of risks and plays with no respect for his opponents. And other top players just don't do that. Like, Demon 1 doesn't play like that. Even if Demon 1 wasn't one-tapping every motherfucker he sees, Demon 1 also plays the game extremely intelligently. MW's much more gung-ho about the way that he plays. But he also finds really good timings, and he punishes people who run away from him, and he's a scary, scary player to play against if you don't know how to stop him. But I think that MW's easier to... For example, Aspas, you can try to stop him, but he's really difficult to stop even if you have a very good idea of exactly what he's going to do. I think MW, if you know what he's going to do, MW takes more... Like, he goes a step even further aggressive and takes less favored fights to the point where you are actually going to be favored if you fight MW in the right way. Sometimes, not all the time. MW is still going to be able to have really good performances against top teams throughout this season, I'm sure. But I don't think he's going to be able to consistently steamroll top competition. Just because of the way that he plays. I think he just takes a lot of liberties on the defense side. Holy mother of God.
Dios, con razón sonreía.
Yeah, Oxy's another one of those players to keep an eye on this season, man.
Qué lateral con Sheriff. ¿Qué acaba de hacer este muchacho? Por Dios, alguien que le ponga una correa, una cadena para detener a esa bestia.
No, 2 tapazos a la cabeza y a mí. Ahí estaba descontando rápidamente a Havoc y a Musera sin iniciador y duelista por ahora.
Hot take. At the end of 2024, Carpe is going to be considered the best IGL in APAC. You know, that sounds insane, but I think that could actually be true. I think that could actually be true because PaperX doesn't have a hardcore IGL, and DRX have been struggling with their calling for a while. I actually think that's possible. I don't think it's a guarantee, but I think in terms of hot takes, that's a banger of a hot take. Because it sounds nuts, but when you actually think about it, like, T1 are probably going to be a top 3 team. He has, I think, the people around him and, like, a structured team to try to get better at just the pure IGLing side of the game. And I think the other people that he's up against are either, like, non-existent on PaperX. Like, there's no one... I guess if you wanted to say Forsaken or Devi or something, then maybe this take would lose a bit of its weight. But to be honest, like, the team doesn't really seem to have an IGL. So then who is it? It's like, you're comparing him to Stax. Okay, I could see him being better than Stax at the end of the season, actually, in terms of the way that he was calling. Especially because of all the issues that DRX have been having and the fact that they're going to be playing with Foxy9 the entire time. And that's, yeah, been really discordant. And then, who else? You're looking at Laz on Zeta? I think Zeta have had some dodgy calling, actually, over the years. But maybe with Carlisle coming in, Zeta's calling can get significantly better. Crazy Guy, I think, has a chance, but I am not confident that that Bleed team is going to have good enough teamwork for Crazy Guy's calling to show itself. But I feel like Crazy Guy's got a decent chance actually as well of being, like, I think Crazy Guy might actually also be fighting for that spot if Bleed end up doing well. Jesse Vash? Yeah, I think Jesse Vash has got a serious chance of that too. Usually we don't think of the top IGLs being on teams that are not in podium spots, which is why I think the Carpe one is a pretty solid take. But yeah, interesting. Who's RRQ's IGL? It's not Zifero. It's Flipsider. Zifero's on VLR as the captain, but it's Flipsider who's the IGL. All right. What the fuck? They still won this round even though Oxy diffed 2 people at the very beginning?
Ojito que Conan está bastante lastimado del equipo de Furia, que por ahora tiene problemas. Tiene que empezar a buscar cómo pueden tratar de plantar la spike. Ojito con Khalil, que se quitaba de encima la presión. Un tapazo y adiós. Podemos plantar la spike. Por lo menos tenemos ahora superioridad numérica. De estar abajo, ahora están arriba. Cambia la historia. Jake y Vanity en este momento tienen que empezar a ver hacia dónde tienen que disparar. Ya sabe a dónde está disparando.
What a round from Khalil. But also, good duel for Liazi to have won against Whippy. It's possible that Furia could have still won the round if Whippy had stayed alive there and beaten Liazi, but yeah. A good ghost aim from both of them there. I don't know whether APAC teams do try to copy from other APAC teams. I don't know. I don't think the 6-man roster thing is something that people have copied from each other. I think it's a holdover from other APAC. I think it's a holdover from other esports that have been very popular in the APAC region. Large rosters are more common in League of Legends, in Overwatch. I don't know if they're more common in Sudden Attack or Crossfire, but if they are, I think that would also probably contribute. Oh, come on, please. Oh, wait, Cloud9 won the eco. Fucking hell. Come on, I just want a rifle round. Dude, I thought this was a Firefox problem. It's not. I'll tell you what the problem is. It's probably because this VOD is fucking 5 hours long. And YouTube's having to scrape the bloody bottom of its servers in order to figure out what's happening towards the end of these VODs. Give me a rifle round. Please. Did you not feel like people spent a little bit too much time trying to mimic some PaperX ideas? I can't really think of many PaperX ideas that were mimicked. None of these are rifle rounds.
Puede ser también una reestructura en el mental de la escuadra de Furia que tiene que comenzar a oxigenar.
Oh, come on, bro. Please. Wait, actually though, none of these are fucking rifle rounds. Have they just lost a bunch of ecos in a row to begin this half? Hello? Can one of your teams stabilize the economy? Wait, they just lost another one. Every single one of these is an eco round win. We've got another anti-eco for Furia. Every one of these rounds, the team with the worst economy has won. All right, come on. Furia, just win the fucking round. They're not going to win the round, are they? They didn't win the round. Dude. This entire half, every single round, the team with the disadvantage has won. Please, give me a rifle round. I mean, I guess this is close enough. Because it's going to be 3 rifles at least. This is jail Valorant. It really is. All right, this is close enough to a rifle round. Let's have a look at this.
Llegan las emociones en esta 19ª ronda. Ojo, porque en este momento la escuadra de Cloud9 la puede cerrar por un 2-1 en la global. Nos vamos para punto de serie y punto de mapa. Llega la flecha rápidamente en estos momentos de Vanity. Elige el
So, Havoc died to spam through the smoke, I think. They're trying to set up some spam, or maybe like a flash recon peek. into mid. It doesn't work. They flash for Oxy to take a peek and try to back off. He gets droned. He's probably going to need to pop his dash here. Nope. Okay, fair enough. Nice from Khalil. I think Khalil is going to want to get pretty aggressive on their attack sides. I think Khalil was at his best when he tried to take aggro lurk timings on the opposite side of the map to the rest of his team on attack side. I just relied on the ability to isolate 1v1s and win them. Alright, so now they're going to set up for an A split. There's smoke, flash. They're smoking for their player in hell. Oh, MW, I thought, had found a nice timing there as Vanity was pulling out his recon. They're going to double swing through. Nice. You can see the comm there in real time, right? Nice from Khalil and Liazi to control Heaven. Good little combo synergy there from Liazi and Khalil. One of them got inside the smoke. Like, okay, so they'd fucked it up the first time with MW just trying to take a timing on Vanity. But I don't think that's too crazy, to be honest. Like, when the guy's throwing a recon dart in there, that doesn't seem like a bad timing to go for a swing. He was just a little late with it. But anyway, after that, he certainly could have waited for a teammate to try and double swing Vanity. But after that, one person dominates the smoke, another person runs in to get inside. They both double swing to try to kill Vanity. Then they come back out of hell and control this Heaven area. And now they're going to get the plant down. I think good overall ideas for Furia. The more teamwork moments they can find like that, the better this team is going to be. Rather than everything just getting chaotic and taking 1v1s.
Flecha para identificar ubicación, dice adiós, dice yo me voy. Creo que no va a intentar, ya el tiempo no le da. Vamos a salvar este armamento y nos vamos entonces con la séptima ronda para el equipo.
Am I casting America's kickoffs? Yeah.
Cloud Knight que nos dice, esperen un poco más.
Hay momentos como este donde Furia juega espectacular, juegan juntos, saben cómo hacer apertura, saben cómo sacar información, jugar una partida estándar muy interesante. Aunque cayó primero Havoc,
I can see Furia crumble like Carmen Core did last year if they give MW too much control of the team like Scream had. I don't think anyone's going to be like Carmen Core of last year, because the Carmen Core of last year, like, okay, MW doesn't believe that the game should be played a fundamentally different way. I mean, if you wanted to split hairs, you could say that he plays like a crazy aggressive defense style, and maybe that's not the best way of playing certain maps. And, you know, I would agree with you on Ascent, but come on, that's not the same as playing no duelist Haven, like triple initiator Haven or whatever. Like, Scream's ideas of what comps to play were just actually gooped up on a Thursday afternoon. And then on top of that, he had no IGLing experience. Well, MW isn't the IGL. MW, as far as we're aware, is not coming up with team comps, not IGLing. He just is helping put the team together and is a big focal point of how the team plays. So I think that you don't have to worry about that. It's not even going to be comparable, in my opinion.
Serie por un 7-12 en el marcador y ahora sí nos vamos para otra rondita más, la ronda número 20.
Así es, vamos entonces.
I wish the other regions put out a video like this, by the way. What is this? I think all of the regions have put out a trailer. I don't know. I haven't watched them though.
형 가야 돼. 빨리 가야 돼. Let's go.
Rush, come on, it's time. We gotta go.
Chief, let's go. One ticket to Korea, please.
Yeah, I just want to pause and say that I agree in terms of the Pacific, like, pre-recorded feature video content. I agree, is the best.
Will be touching down in Seoul, South Korea for the kickoff of VCT Pacific 2024.
What did they just purchase? Oh, buy the tickets. I see. Paper thin in the cockpit? Yeah, I'd let him into my cockpit. I think every region actually has something that they're the best at. At least one thing that they're the best at. I am interested in EMEA though, because a lot of the LEC people got cut, and I think they were using some of those people, so I am like a little...
We didn't
no, EMEA does. EMEA's replays are fucking goated. EMEA's replays blew every other region out the water last year.
The first.
The problem is...
2024. We will all
I don't know how that's gonna work this year. I don't... The thing is, though, the people running the replays, I think, were a different team. I think Atriox was running... I actually don't know exactly how the replay system worked, but yeah, I'm not sure whether or not it's affected. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. No, I don't think Atriox is gone, is he? I saw that Mel wasn't rehired, but as far as I'm aware, Atriox is still running the replays in EMEA, isn't he?
It's our time.
All right, that's pretty sick. Yeah, I like that one. That's good. That's good. What was this one? The NA trailer was so good. I haven't seen it yet. Was it this? Oh no, this is the G2 thing. Yeah, I'll watch the G2 thing, but where's the NA trailer? Has anyone got that?
Con esta nueva ronda nueva llevarse ya la ronda y full buy para el
Let me watch this round, actually. Wait, why is Cloud9 half buying on the final round? Oh, wait, no, what am I talking about? Dude, I thought Fury was in the lead for some reason.
equipo de Furia que quiere llevarse la octava y empezar a generar un poco más de ruido.
Ronda número 20, activa rápidamente Musera, la tormenta de cuchillas y el punto cero también efectivo por parte de...
Am I losing my mind? Or does this smoke with a recon here make no sense? Because if there was somebody trying to play aggressive in close mid, they could just hide inside the smoke to dodge the recon dart. So surely anytime you're smoking here, putting a recon to clear close mid is just nonsense. Why would you run that ever?
Otro más que cae, sí señores, ventaja numérica para la escuadra de Furia, se puso furioso 2-7 en el marcador, saca la frag, se van hacia atrás y comienzan a jugar más ordenado.
Watch the G2 video and then we'll give you the NA trailer. I'm not going to get held hostage by the chat.
Sabía que tiene información. En este momento, Shepas, que se llevaba la vida de su dual. Ya tenemos a uno de los robots por fuera y vamos a descontar el 1-1. En este momento 4 contra 4 y todavía no hay ningún impulso de querer ingresar a plantar la spike.
Yeah, if they're going to knife market and recon close mid, they already have full mid control. They don't need to smoke it. So, yeah, I'm just a bit confused what was going on there. Probably just some miscommunication. Do 10 push-ups and 18 jumping jacks? Dude, Van Silly. I went to the gym this morning. I haven't been to the gym in 8 months or something. I went to the gym and did 14 miles on the bike. at like 7 a.m. I'm on the fucking grind. I'm gonna try and do it every day while I'm here. Because that's the only way I can cancel out the amount of food I'm gonna eat. Okay, Vanity just right-clicks Khalil. No. Oh my god, MW. Bit of miscommunication again there. Closing the door onto MW. And then panicking, paranoiaing, swinging up towards heaven from Liazzi instead of just controlling it from over towards Dice. They've lost control of door. Oh god. These kind of rounds from Furia are going to look atrocious if we get more of them. And basically what happens is, when something goes wrong, they just speed up. And I guess the problem here is that there's only 30 seconds left on the clock when they actually end up going for something, but these kind of moments look disastrous from Furia. When it gets chaotic and scrappy, it just looks real rough. Yeah, so many eco rounds lost there from Furia, but also a few from Cloud9 too. But yeah, I don't like Furia's approach to Ascent. I don't think Havoc and Liazzi looked that good on their defensive A. But to be honest, you can't really see much of their defense beyond what MW does because he plays so far forwards that everything revolves around him. They don't have like, you know, you can't really see what a defensive A main looks like because they only did it like twice. The rest of the time, MW is taking a fight before the attackers can even take some map control. All right. What? Holy fuck. All right, Furia played against Crude that day. We don't want that. This day, Furia played against C9 again, I believe. Was it this one? Holy fucking blow my ears out. Jesus Christ. So we've got Lotus. Yeah, let's watch some Lotus. Here's the NA trailer. Let's have a look at it.
And second back. But he's gonna go swing. Oh my gosh!
There were some silly plays last year. What the fuck?
When you're 2-0 down and didn't really have a chance, so I did down by
The All Americas team. I like that. Cold Revenge. Is that how I would have framed NRG? I don't think I would frame NRG as a revenge story. I understand that they came second, but they've always come second in domestic events. It's just like a hurdle that they've never been able to overcome. I would frame this as the fucking super team. I understand what they're going for, but it's not how I would have put it personally. Revenge against Billy Billy? You can't do that in Americas.
Now into 1v1s. Individual fight. Just waiting. Victor swings across. Swing! Able to get this. Short 4 seconds. He's got to go! Oh my god! For James. To strike just enough time.
Thank you, MIBR. Yeah. Dude, I am looking forward to watching Sentinels play so fucking much because that man there, Tens, not this man, but that man there, Tens, is going to be doing some of the silliest shit you've ever seen on Smokes. I am so fucking hyped for this, because we haven't seen somebody genuinely mega talented play silly bastard Omen, like, for so long. Who's the last crackhead Omen player that actually had outrageous aim? Sometimes Angel has outrageous aim, but not all the time. He's like fucking Taravangian. Redgar does not have insane aim. Actually, sometimes Redgar does, but it's even more rare than Angel. But dude, Tens is going to be able to... Tens is going to do some stupid shit. He absolutely is. But he's going to be able to pull some of it off. And that is really funny. Mako doesn't play silly Omen. Mako plays very sensible Omen. Mako has fantastic aim. He doesn't play silly Omen. Som does. Som used to. Back when Som played Omen in his previous team, NRG, on Breeze, he used to play a bit of silly Omen. But then when he joined this version of NRG, he was playing like standard safe Omen most of the time, or standard safe Smokes. But dude, Tens is going to be playing some silly shit. Navarro with the op was cool. Yeah, but that wasn't silly. Dude, I'm talking about the creativity of Redgar and Angel and Kriya with the aim of Tens. That is fucking... That gets me going. That Chishu. Actually, dude, the Chishu Omen on Sunset, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Creativity is such a nice euphemism. It is, though. It is genuinely creative. It's just also a bit daft. It's going to be some fucking jail Valorant from Tens a lot of the time, and I'm so excited for it, because half of the time it's going to fail, half of the time it should fail and he's going to make it work, and the other half of the time, because there's 3 halves in 100%, he's going to just absolutely own his opponent. I'm genuinely mega excited to watch him.
And we are not done yet. G2.
It's inevitable. EU tries to hang on to it, but no! It's Trent to find the final kill!
The reinvention, and it's only Jorgamo stood there. I like that.
The same old story. The winning squad gets dissolved the moment they win and never gets back to what it was.
Hold on. I'm here.
I'm here. Eu tô aqui. I'm here.
That's so funny that they showed Tens with the caption "New Faces." No, he's not.
I'm here. Eu estou aqui.
That's a great video as well. It's a very different vibe to the Pacific one. It's more like genuinely trying to be epic and hype rather than, you know, a bit goofy but hype. But I think they nailed it. I'm excited. They're both good. I like Pacifics as well. All right. Let me watch this map though. Okay, so we're going to focus mostly on what FURIA are doing on their attack side. Things to be paying attention to here. How much do they focus on MW? How much do other people like Liazi, Conan, Khalil, how much do they actually take their own timings based off distractions on the other side? What does Conan's attack side calling look like on this map? Those are the kind of things that I want to focus on because they'll actually be useful in the future. I don't really care about the exact ways in which they're approaching the map because they'll have probably changed.
Vamos a ver cómo cambian las cosas, pero estoy bastante impaciente. Ronda de pipas, atención en estos
So
momentos.
Conan gets pressured back up. Does Conan call a reactive play into C? It certainly looks like it. Are they going to break the utility? They're looking for the utility. Yeah, okay, so they spam both sides of the box. Good awareness. Both snake bites have now been used though. They open the door, they're looking to try to pivot. Look at Liazi's smokes though, they don't have any smokes online right now.
Vamos a ver por acá, ingreso por
They
parte
used the
de
Viper
pero
wall, which they
también
haven't
en parte
committed
de
yet.
Está generando movimiento.
Go 1 for
Cali que
1.
empieza a castigar a Oxy, que la devuelve. Vamos
Ooh,
contra
and
el
then Conan
4
dies to the
contra
alarm
4.
bot
Y
that
ya
nobody
está
broke.
empezando a entrar Lassi, que ya se encuentra.
Still,
Lassi que ya está por acá plantando
3v3.
Cali que empieza a castigar.
And Liaze actually stuck around to try and wait for a kill onto Vanity, which I'm surprised Vanity even pushed. Although I suppose it does make sense to apply some pressure from the other side.
Oxy que la devuelve. Vamos contra el 4 contra 4.
Yeah, Liaze
Y ya
gets a
está
free kill onto
empezando a entrar
Vanity
Lassi, que
here.
ya se encuentra.
And they're in a
Lassi que
3v2.
ya está por acá plantando Havoc que ya se encuentra en este momento en contacto con Oxy haciendo la Oxy, triple contra 1, triple para Oxy, puede castigar, lo intentaba frenar. Si les vamos
Lassie's had some big pistol
tratando de
rounds.
lanzar una granada para empezar a hacer ruido y por qué no abrir la
Cero en el marcador, ronda de pipas que se lleva a la escuadra de Furia, que está furioso, quiere meterse en la gran final.
Así es, vamos viendo un buen inicio. Oxy que saca la
pausa.
All right, we're 10 seconds into the round already, but it should just be Furia cleaning up.
Estamos bien en este momento. MW Cera tratando de lanzar una granada para empezar a hacer ruido y por qué no abrir la puerta y decirle a todo el mundo que puede empezar las cosas. En el side se empiezan a mover, empiezan a generar esa ansiedad de saber si van a entrar o va a ser lo mismo, que era ruido en un lugar, impacto inmediato.
So Conan is trying to take some kind of timing over towards A, but he's not playing particularly aggressively.
La Bulldog y también refragueando Conan, buscando alguna información después de ese muro. Ahí estaba la
And Khalil's playing really passively. I would prefer, just because I think Khalil's better than Conan, I would prefer to keep Conan alive and have Khalil be the one that's trying to get lurks off. We'll see. We'll see how they play.
Efectivos también por parte de Musera. Entra a plantar rápidamente Liazi los nano enjambres de Khalil para evitar también la rápida.
Setting up aggressive nanoswarms to stop the eco flood coming through, but round's over. All right, bonus round for Furia. They don't have lobby. Conan calls a react into C.
Kills, ¿por qué no? Tratar de levantar información.
MW is pretty close to his ult, but doesn't have it.
MW será tratando con una granada empezar a dar ansiedad, a generar ese ruido que tiene que generar la Raze. Y recorrido para tratar, obviamente, de farmear un orbe que estaba a la expectativa.
So this time Conan and Khalil have both gone forwards on B.
La estándar que se va del lado de la escuadra de Furia, deciden comenzar a saquearse, los intercambios. Comienza a pegar, pero no más a nadie. Todo en estos momentos con Musera, que
Good coordination there from Havoc and MW. Lovely flash from Havoc.
Así, señores, córrale, eche para atrás, corra rápido, Jake, porque si no te van a romper, Jackie. Ahí estaba, lo vemos en estos momentos. Conan que va por detrás, doble para Conan en esos momentos, se la lleva al bolsillo, comienza a refragar también con la paranoia, la mordedura de la víbora, tratando de evitar el entry rápido de Jake que se va. Ay, sí, señores, comenzaron a dibujarse, ahí está.
The flashes from Havoc were perfect there, and I think in general, Havoc's looked like a really, really good supportive flex player. My only issues with the way that Havoc plays is what happens when MW isn't with him. Or rather, when he isn't setting somebody else out, when he's playing like on his own. But in terms of his supportive gameplay, it looks precise.
Ahí está nuestra Killjoy.
Unreal, thanks for the 8 months.
De más 5 contra 1. No lo vas a hacer, ¿verdad? No lo vas a hacer, Whippy, ¿verdad?
Black screen, PogChamp. Unreal, thank you for the 8 months. Silent, thanks for the 100 bits. Tens will play like Redgar and Angel, fuse to create the ultimate troll omen, but get more kills than both of them combined. Yeah, I think that's quite likely. You want my dude, hot take. Oxy will jet diff Demon 1 in the winners of A group. Nothing to lose versus pressure of being champs MVP. I don't think that's going to happen. But at the same time, I think it's possible that Oxy could have a map where he does significantly better than Demon 1. Because I don't think Demon 1 is going to literally be the best player on every single map he plays all season long. But I don't think he'll do it for the whole series. I also don't think Demon 1 knows what pressure is. Unless NRG start to lose, I don't think Demon 1's going to have any mental problems at all. I think it would take NRG already losing in order for that team to, like, have a problem. Whoa, Hugo, thanks for the 100 bits as well. I watched Platchat and y'all are overhyping Leviathan. Aspas is not going to be able to do the same without Sadak. First of all, I disagree generally because I think that Aspas is a really intelligent player and will know how to set himself up, and I think that Aspas can call for his own supportive utility. He's not a mute. Secondly, we've already seen him in the offseason have extremely good performances. And thirdly, he's on a team with other really good players too. Like King's a great player. King has okay, so I've been a little critical of King's approach to the game and his mid-rounding because I think that he tends to rely on set stuff a lot. But his set defensive ideas to set up Aspas are still going to be insanely good. On the attack side, that's where we might see some cracks form from King's IGLing. But I think the defense side, Aspas should continue to just be nuts. Having said that, though, I have thought more about... At some point on Platchat, I talked about NRG and Leviathan both being super teams. And I've thought about that more, and I don't think it's true. I think NRG is a super team. They're not as good as Fnatic on paper, and they don't have an IGL with experience, but they are a super team. But I don't think Leviathan are a super team. I don't think you can have a super team with Mazzino and Tex on it until they both perform really, really well at a tier 1 level. And I think Mazzino has, when he was playing Flex, performed really well at a tier 1 level, but I don't think he has on Smokes. I don't think he's been a top tier 1 Smokes player. So I think Lev are one step away from being a super team. Yeah, I don't agree with the Barla 3-player rule. I don't think 3 out of 5 makes you a super team. I think that's too broad. By that definition, Cloud9 from last year when they had Ye, Leaf, and Zephyr could have been considered a super team, and I just don't think that's true. And you could call Sentinels a super team as well. I think, dude, Sentinels this year, now that they've sorted their roles out, are closer than they were last year. But last year, I don't think they were a super team. This year, I don't really think they are either, but I think they might be getting closer. I think 4 out of 5 minimum. I think actually, in order to be a super team, you need straight up either 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 to be considered a super team. I don't think Leviathan counts, in my opinion. You all called that C9 squad a super team before they played, to be fair? No, I never did. I never fucking did. $2 for ketchup. I actually have a tweet at the beginning of 2023 where I tweeted, Fnatic are the only super team in VCT. And I think that's still true. They were the only team that met the definition of super team for 2023. But I think in 2024, Fnatic is still a super team. And I think NRG are now a super team as well. I think there's more reason to be doubtful of NRG than Fnatic last year, but I think that they do qualify as a super team. But yeah, other people were definitely saying that. Other people on Platchat were also saying that, $2 for ketchup, yeah. What about Loud? Loud, when they were formed, were a Brazilian super team. But we didn't know how good some of those other people were going to be. Loud were not a super team when they formed because we didn't know that Pancada was going to be incredible. We didn't know that Aspas was going to be incredible. And actually, we didn't know that Les was going to be incredible either. When after they won so much, now if you put those players onto a different team, or if you reformed Loud, they would be considered a super team because of what they've already accomplished. But when they formed, they were not a super team because they hadn't had that prior success already. They actually built that success from that roster. A super team must be formed from pre-existing top-level players or players that have been extraordinarily successful, which makes NRG and Fnatic a super team, I think.
Tienen que limpiar por completo. Furia que empieza enfurecido.
No, I don't think Cloud9 were a super team last year.
Tercera ronda bastante importante. Vamos a ver
Leo was
cómo
never
responde
successful
la
before
Tubes.
Fnatic. Okay, whoa. Yes, he was. Yes, he fucking was. Leo was considered an absolutely unbelievable talent when he was playing for Guild. Just because yeah. So that's the other thing. You don't have to have won. You don't have to be like a world champion or something. But you need to be like an elite level player. And so, yes, I agree with you, Cavalry Archer. Guild themselves didn't accomplish very much. But I think you need one or the other. You either need to be an elite level player or have won a Masters or Champions whilst maybe not being considered an elite level player. Like, I suppose Victor has never really been considered, like, for an extended period of time, a dominant player. But he's still accomplished so much that he is, like, entitled to a spot as, like, a super team player, in my opinion. But yeah, Guild had Leo, Trex, and Safe. That team was stacked with talent. Stacked with talent. I think Tex is going to be really, really good. And I think Mazzino is going to be better this year as well. But I still don't think that team qualifies as a super team this year. Wouldn't, by that definition, Na'Vi be a super team? No, because again, guys, Na'Vi... Okay, dude, holy fuck, I feel like I'm having to go through the same definitions over and over. Na'Vi, when they were formed, those players had not accomplished things before Na'Vi. Like, the Na'Vi core was basically just FBX. And when FBX formed, those players had not done a lot. Zipan was known because he was in Fortnite. And, you know, Xiao had been playing on, what were they called? Party Parrots. Like, these players had not had big accomplishments. If players were dominant in previous FPSs, then that would be really interesting, but we've never seen that before, where like 5 players... Well, actually we have. We've seen like that in the original like T1 roster, way back when they just had... But people would call those like, you know, a Counter-Strike superstar team or something, but they never did very well, because as it turns out, it doesn't matter if you're not good in Valorant. Yeah, but you can't... A team that starts out... Like EG from last year don't become a super team just because they won champions. The concept of a super team has to be based around them forming like that. I can understand, though, that if you aren't exposed to traditional sports, the concept doesn't really make too much sense, but it's about how the roster is put together, not how they actually perform. Like, for example, you can have a super team that flops. You can have a super team that finishes middle of the table. It's not about how they play. It's about how they're put together.
Intentando ver en dónde se encuentra, no sabe por dónde está la línea defensiva. El side de B que en este momento se pinta de furia. Situación de...
So anyway, that all started because I wanted to talk about us overrating Leviathan. I don't think we're overrating Leviathan, but I also don't think they qualify as a super team, and that's, yeah, I said that on Platchat, and I disagree with myself now. Monkey Meatloaf, thanks for the 100 bits. Teams expected to shit the bed. Oh, I don't want to... There are so few teams expected to shit the bed. In Americas, anyway. How far off being a super team was last year's Team Liquid? Pretty far, I think, to be honest. Because I think the way that they constructed the roster didn't make very much sense as well. Like, I don't think Soulcast and Redgar, and to be honest, like, I don't think Yampi either, even though Yampi at certain points has been a red-hot player.
Realmente impecable, ¿no? O sea, se lleva una económica
Anyway, sorry. Let me focus on this, though, because I've got a lot of VODs that I want to get through, and I don't have very much time. Yeah, I think Safe does count as a superstar player. Like, if Safe was on Leviathan instead of Aspas, I think it would still count for the same points towards being a super team. I think Aspas has more weight on a super team, but Safe would still count. Because of how nutty he was last year. Come on, dude. What is going on with this YouTube video player? Please. Yeah, Zeta retired. Would you have said that at lock-in last year? Yeah, I was actually low on Liquid last year. If you go back and listen to Plat Chat before lock-in, I was not on the Liquid hype train. And then when I wasn't expecting them to be as bad as they were at lock-in, though. That was disastrous.
Muy bien, ahora en este momento nos vamos. Oh, se corresponde a Misera, pero Hawk también se lleva a Jake. Condición de 4 para 4 y ojo con el one way.
Qué buena. Uy, estaba en este momento en un pixelito tratando de asomarse.
Tex was really, really good on the guard, but that's still tier 2 Radiant. So I don't think it counts personally.
El equipo de Glow en este momento que tiene que empezar a moverse, tiene que empezar a avanzar. Es una defensa, pero avanzando, buscando. Quieren recortar. Ojito con Oxy. Oxy en cualquier momento podría tener contacto con Liasi. Liasi que le...
This is a really interesting round. So they've pushed out and they've killed MW. So now they're in a 4v4 where C9 doesn't have smokes. So C9 are going to be significantly weaker in a retake situation. What's Conan's call here? Conan's managed to get up pretty aggressive on A. Liasi here has the spike. If Liasi dies, the round gets so much more difficult. And now Liasi's died, and the spike is dropped, and the round is so difficult. And Furia just kind of look like they don't have a coherent game plan here. Conan's trying to work his way up towards A. Havoc's trying to lurk his way into B. The spike is kind of between B and A because they don't know which direction they want to go into. Now the spike gets dropped. It's a mess, this round so far from Furia. They needed a decisive comm on what they were going to do with Liasi. Do you think Zekken counts towards being a super team or no? I think personally I would because of the quality of player that he is and the fact that he's already been able to have some level of success when he was playing for Exa. Oh, that's unfortunate for Khalil. Yeah, this round has been... This round was a real indictment of the decisiveness of how Furia are going to play in complex situations. Escudo, thank you for the Prime. Has there been a player that was really good in Tier 2 and not played at the same level in Tier 1? Ooh, I'm sure there has. It's just a matter of me thinking about it. Wolfen? Yeah, I mean, XMS is honestly the first one that comes to mind, though, because XMS absolutely crushed Tier 2 playing Chamber. And then he came into Tier 1 and motherfucker looked lost. Absolutely lost. But yeah, Wolfen looked like he had a lot of promise. He didn't crush Tier 2, but he looked like he looked really skilled in Tier 2. And then he came into Tier 1. He was on a pretty dysfunctional team. But Wolfen did also look like he didn't adapt to Tier 1 very well. Who else? SK Rossi? Yeah, but that's even weirder because SK Rossi... The thing is, a lot of the Tier 2 in the earlier years, like when SK Rossi was playing, he wasn't playing at like top Tier 2 Pacific level. He was just kind of dominating in India, in like South Asia. So that's a bit different to somebody like Tex, isn't it? So, yeah. What about Ye? Well, yeah, he played very differently in Tier 2 and Tier 1. But what they're talking about is somebody who popped off in Tier 2 and then struggled in Tier 1. I think what you would have to do is go back and look at all of the rookie players from last year and plot them on some kind of graph of how well you thought they performed versus how well you thought they performed in Tier 2. And in order to get... Because we can all think of people who were good in Tier 2 and then good in Tier 1. And we can think of examples of people who were good in Tier 2 and then bad in Tier 1. But just because you can think of examples of both doesn't mean anything. You would have to actually look at what the quantity of people were that played well in one and went into being good in the other. So, I don't know. I'm not really sure what the overall trend is.
La squadra de Cloud9 a rushar, a no quedarse atrás, a buscar
But there have definitely been examples of
posicionados
both.
a la escuadra de Furia. Nos vamos para la sexta ronda acá en el Superdome Latam en el Coliseo MedPlus.
So they're going for a C mount default again.
Whippy hacia atrás ya con la banda, la carcasa de pinturas de Musera, sacando información en estos momentos. También Havoc con el Forja Caminos, el perro que está ladrando, entrando rápidamente al site, sacando información, pero por ahora se pone una ronda un poquito lenta.
La Spike totalmente en el suelo, por ahora quieren empezar a
And they're throwing this smoke.
que no descontar uno más, mientras tanto
Threatening,
Whippy con su
cutting off the
fortaleza
turret.
no quiere permitir absolutamente ningún contacto, no quiere saber absolutamente nada, abren puerta, pero hasta el momento es puro bait, no quieren que sepan en dónde están. Información canina por parte de la línea defensiva, tratando de saber que ya hay tres.
Khalil's not breaking this alarm bot.
Para el equipo de la línea defensiva que no quiere escatimar en ningún píxel y obviamente
That's
no
really
van a
his
buscar,
job.
porque ya la hicieron una vez, pero no la van a repetir.
Por ahora se mantienen las condiciones parejas 5-5 entre jugadores, menos 48 segundos descontando en esta ronda número 6. Está muy lento el entry, pero ya llega en este momento la mordedura de Conan, el orbe venenoso para denegar el entry.
Conan's just throwing his Viper Molly there so that his team can cross and get into the A site with him. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. They keep putting Liassi in these... When they played the previous round, I can't remember what it was, maybe round 3, and they all pivoted from C to B. They left Liassi tucked in this corner. Oh, that was on the pistol round, actually, wasn't it? Yeah, on the pistol round, they left Liassi holding here. And now they've done it again. See, there's 40 seconds left on the clock. Their Omen is just over here throwing smokes to try to keep these C players committed to the site. Are they not going to miss the fact that, like, at the moment they're playing a 1-1-3 as they hit into A? And yeah, they're hitting the correct site, because there's only one person anchoring here. But wouldn't they prefer to have one of their other guys with them? Liassi could still be throwing these smokes while he went with the rest of the team. Oh, are they going to end B? Ending B here is a little weird, though, because Liassi only has one smoke. And now the spike's dropped. I think they're overcooking this. Well, they're still going to get the plant down. And Liassi's got a lurk off now.
Aquí está la piscina de ácido que no va a permitir que nadie venga a molestar. Lanzamos también por parte de Havoc para identificar, para informar. Bien.
Bit whiffy from Liassi, but he recovered it. Okay. All right, they end up winning that. Was that a good round from Furia? Kind of. They made it look like it was going to be an A hit, and then they went through B, pitted B, and got the backstab into the C link. I think the weird part about it, though, is that look, when this turret gets retracted, it allows this lurk to come through. But in theory, there is no reason why the turret had to be retracted. It's just because they thought it was an A hit. Or I guess at this point, maybe they thought it was a B hit still. But if Liassi hadn't been able to go for that lurk, I suppose Liassi could have just opened the door and played from here too. I feel like they overcomplicated it, but it did end up working for them.
La Spike queda suelta en enlace de B y por ahora tiene que ir a recogerla. Se le quedó ahí el regalo, sí señores. Khalil que...
Well, we'll see what they do in some of these later rounds. That's an interesting one.
Ellos es la que tienen que abrazar con todas sus fuerzas.
Yeah, they had the Viper ult that round.
Así es, tenemos
I think they had it at the start of the round.
Rápido van a entrar.
Alright, so again, Cloud9 control Rubble. Conan's going to call for them to try to react. MW's one away from having ult online. They just go for a very default sight hit. They spot where the sight anchor is.
De las suyas para tratar de frenar, tiene que jugar hacia atrás. Ya llegó rapidito, Omen le dice, tranquila, yo te ayudo, vamos a cuidar este side, como si no hubiera un mañana. Por ahora la situación de Retake se pone otra vez en contra.
And MW gets the plant so that he then has his Raze ult. He's expecting them to go for the fast retake because they're playing the Neon Sky kind of composition, but actually the Neon Sky are at Mound rather than Waterfall, so they weren't set up to go for a fast flood retake. So now this Raze ult doesn't really get much value, but I don't think it was a mistake from MW. I think it's a reasonable idea, and it's going to buy his team time to try to change up their post-plant positions. The post-plant, though, is not for Mound. So what's likely to happen here is Furia play post-plants on site, and Cloud9 get a lot of space in Mound and CT to try to surround them for the retake. So this could still be really tough for Furia to win. Yeah, okay, so Zeppa kills Khalil. MW's taken Waterfall. So now, you know, nice change up of the map here, but it's only MW that's realized he needs to take Waterfall. The rest of the team are just playing more standard claustrophobic post-plant positions. Somebody should have gone with MW here, I think. And instead, Havoc's going to just try to swing. Awful decision-making there. Instead of Havoc doing that, Havoc could have just followed MW into Waterfall and could be playing a kind of post-plant situation from that side. And then you've got 2 Waterfall, 2 on site, and I think that's a much nicer setup to try to play the 4v5. Conan goes 1 for 1. Liazzi kills 2 and then swings. Yeah, I'm not confident in the individual decision making of Liazzi and Havoc, which kind of makes sense, I suppose. They're the 2 least experienced players on the team, but a lot of mistakes coming out from these guys. And to be fair, this was a while ago. They might have gotten significantly more coordinated with the team since then. How far do you think 100 Thieves will progress this season? I think 100 Thieves will... I think 100 Thieves will either not make playoffs or be on the very bottom end of playoffs. I think they'll be in like a serious fight for the bottom spot of playoffs at the end of the season. We'll see, though. Maybe Boostio and Zix can turn that roster into something excellent.
Que pararse como un coloso, es Jake el que tiene que pararse como coloso porque todo el equipo de Furia está en ese lugar. Corran. ¿Dónde están mis amigos? Killjoy que se quede quietica. Killjoy que se quede quietica. WP que se quede quieto ahí, que no vaya a buscar. Mientras tanto el equipo, la caballería que tiene que ir a apoyar. Jake en este momento tiene que pararse como un coloso.
I mean, Havoc played that situation like he was on Duelist, but I don't think he plays in general like he's on Duelist. I think Havoc's actually playing a very supportive role. It's the same situation, actually. When Havoc is playing to use his utility to support somebody, he looks really smart. When Havoc isn't playing to support somebody, when he's actually taking gunfights, he looks like he's making bad decisions a lot of the time. Same kind of trend.
Otra vez la cortina tóxica, y no de tu tóxica, es la tóxica Viper. Conan comienza a rotar Furia al site de C y la Sheriff de Liazzi. Tengan mucho cuidado porque solamente él fue el único que no forzó los hachos rápidamente.
So they've managed to find the right side to hit here again with only 40 seconds left. This is where Furia need to not overheat, though. I don't think they needed to do that, but if MW is going to take that fight and win it, then who am I to disagree?
Y el equipo que tiene que empezar a buscar de qué forma puede entrar ojito por cascada, que viene una bestia totalmente desatada, pero
G2 innovated the Viper Omen on Haven.
Aquí no vas a hacer ruido.
It was actually Furia, I think, who played Viper Harp. No, was it Loud who played it first and then Furia copied it? I can't remember. It was either Furia or Loud that played Viper Harbor first on Haven, but G2 really perfected that Viper Omen version. Loud and Furia both came up with it at the same time. Yeah, I don't think that's true. I think one of them came up with it and the other copied, but I think Furia played it first, but they copied it from Loud in scrims or something. It was something like that. Hello, play. Dude, you motherfucker. You little motherfucker. Just play. Hit the play button.
Completo su lugar desde que la spike esté plantada, ya nada puede pasar. Otra de no se fueron rápidamente a side DC, dominaron completamente este side y ahora les da la quinta ronda. Nos vamos para la ronda número 9.
Vamos a ver, de igual manera tú sabes que ese es un mapa de ataque, ¿no? Es un mapa totalmente ofensivo, es momento de tratar de saquear algunas.
So Cloud9 have found it a little difficult to hold on to the C site. They either need to be setting up for fast flank retakes, or they need to be putting the Killjoy and Viper on C. But this round's just an eco. Another nice little flash from MW to peak.
Otra vez retake, pero ojo con la sobrecarga, la luz de guía que llega rápidamente por parte de Shepa, tratando de hacer el sustain para Oxy, el duelista de la escuadra Cloud9. Se van hacia atrás, comienza la contención en estos momentos de Whippy para sacar del side a la escuadra.
Very far away right now.
45 segundos, ojo, porque lo pueden encontrar.
Havoc. Another situation where Havoc's decision making looks very dodgy, but he goes 1-for-1 there.
De 3 para 2 y Musera con la doble al bolsillo. Puede cerrar la sexta ronda para la escuadra de Furia. Ahí estaba, comienza, ahí está.
Good trade from Liazzi at the end. Sliggy said multiple people played Viper Omen and the G2 pulled things from all of them and perfected it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happens in scrims, to be honest. I don't know how Sliggy would know what happened in America's scrims, to be honest, either. But from what I had heard, G2 played Viper Omen like really early on in scrims and matches.
Porque Furia en estos instantes, en estas instancias también decisivas, juega una maravilla. Y nos vamos para la ronda de dobles dígitos, Matanga.
But yeah, certainly if they didn't invent it, they pretty much perfected it.
Todos los jugadores del equipo de Furia que quieren entrar al side de A, pero tenemos 3 también haciendo contención. 3 colosos para tratar de hacer de muro y evitar. Rojito, MWCera tiene el impacto, pero no le daba. No conectaba con absolutamente nadie y viene Oxy a castigar. Totalmente estuneado, le devolvían el favor.
Alright, so now 2v2, what are you going for? Ult over to C. Furia have been pretty good at hitting the right site. Or like ending in the right place pretty often. So now it's just Liazzi and Havoc together.
Que ya está entrando por el side. Por ahora se mantienen las condiciones 2 para 2.
Liazzi's just holding. They flash, they know that there's somebody there. They now smoke it. Oh, they're gonna try and push into it. Oh my god. That's a bit lucky, isn't it? That's a bit lucky. Okay. They chose the most aggressive way of being able to defend that, I think. Yeah, the double push into the smoke rather than trying to let Liazzi defend the plant is a strange decision, but at least they were on board with the same thing.
Sé que quieres ese mapa, pero no va a estar ese.
Sliggy said that because he was using Viper on Haven when he was at Team Liquid. Yeah, but a bunch of people used Viper on Haven. They just used it terribly. Like, no offense to like Sliggy or Cloud9 Korea or other people that were using Viper back then. But like, that was not the same idea. That was just using the same agent on the map. Like, they were playing it with a fucking Sage. And they were playing the utility in completely different places. And playing Viper Omen on that map doesn't mean that you just lock in the characters. It's a specific style of putting the walls in certain places and having that Viper orb on A, and like the way in which you are controlling the attack and defense side using those two agents. It doesn't just mean, you know, they played it once a long time ago.
No, sé que te encanta, pero no lo vamos a tener, por lo menos en este BO3 no va a estar. Lo que sí va a estar es el
I highly doubt that the modern Viper Omen comps took anything from Cloud9 Korea Muthi playing Viper on Haven or Liquid playing Viper on Haven.
todas las ultis de guerra, una contra otra. Sacamos a esa Viper y empezamos.
I don't think they're iterations of the same idea.
Para atrás por la contención de Khalil, que comienza a ser efectiva. También comienza la nube. Ahí está el TP rápidamente, el paso sombrío, se cuela rápidamente Liasi. Ojo porque
Is Vanity gonna try and go for this?
hacia atrás tuvo que denegar ya la fosa vípera. Comienzan en estos momentos a refraguear una renda semieconómica que tiene la escuadra de Cloud9 que va tocadísima. 7-3 el marcador, el Khalil rápidamente de Oxy. Hombre, el alejante comienza a jugar. Ahí estaba también Miser que se lleva a Quibi. Chepa correspondió a Cera, Liasi que se lleva otro más. Vanity se lleva doble Jackie que se lleva en estos momentos otro más. Doble para Khalil. Uno para uno queda el IGL. 16 de vida con la...
Good clutch from Khalil, but let's just take a look at...
Una renda semieconómica que tiene la escuadra de Cloud9 que va tocadísima. 7-3 el marcador, el Khalil rápidamente de Oxy.
Why does MW just decide to, like, wide swing into everybody here at Waterfall? Because he kind of drags everybody else with him, doesn't he? When MW goes for this...
En estos momentos también está Vanity hacia atrás, tuvo que denegar ya la fosa vípera. Comienzan en estos momentos a refraguear una renda semieconómica que tiene la escuadra de Cloud9 que va tocadísima. 7-3 el marcador.
I mean, they do double blind it, so it must have been their game plan. I think as soon as the wall goes up, they're like, yeah, let's fight Waterfall. They Havoc flashed it, then Liazi blinded it, and then they send it. But I guess it's really difficult to just play a standard post plant here when the neon wall just cuts you up. It's cut up a crossfire between him and Conan. It's very difficult for Liazi to trade him as well because he's on the other side of the wall. Pretty uncomfortable though. Is it not possible for them to just get a better plant down? Why aren't they planting for Mound and playing post plants there? Is it because they're worried about getting killed by the Viper? I think it must be. Yeah, I can see that it's coordinated, but I wonder whose call that was, because I don't like it. But I'm not sure what else you're supposed to do in that situation, really. Because they've already set up aggressive on-site post plants, and they're having to defend against the flood, and they're all kind of isolated. I mean, you could save the flashes to try to flash through, like, you could bait MW and use the flashes to kill the people that kill MW. Anyway, Khalil wins the round.
Inmediatamente respondía y obviamente Khalil, nuestra Killjoy en este momento plantando, atacando.
Can anyone answer? Did he watch NRG or not yet, please? No. No, I'm not. I am planning to do some NRG VODs, but it's old NRG, right? But I'm going to do that after this game. So I am actually going to VOD review NRG after this.
Llega la Operator de Musera. Nos vamos para la 12ª ronda de cambio. Ya está el Operator concretando a Whippy. Se quedan 5-4 en el marcador en estos momentos de jugadores. El Boombot para ajusticiar rápidamente la zona de larga de C. El Boombot y hacia atrás en estos momentos tenemos a Conan.
But it is old NRG.
Vamos viendo entonces ya la caída de Whippy. Whippy que ya no puede continuar, que como el papá de Simba habla desde los...
It is kind of crazy having MW play Raze on this map because he just gets so many kills that he's got his ult online really often. I think this is his third ult of the half.
únicamente está en la parte
Although
de
this
atrás,
was
Leazy,
old
que está
version of
cuidando la
Lotus with
espalda,
3
Bruno,
alt
tratando de
orbs
parar un
too.
poco más atrás, pero empieza la velocidad. MW será que tiene armamento en el hombro y lo va a querer utilizar.
I mean, you definitely send it on Zephyr there. Yeah. Alright, so what does the post bank look like? So, Conan's been screwed. Do you have a flash to try recontest this? No. You only have Liazi, and he's miles away. Liazi's playing so far away from the rest of the team here. I don't like how much Liazi is just like an AFK lurk player at the end of these rounds.
También quiere castigar desde lejos, limpieza de Oxy, limpieza de Jay. Todo el mundo se quiere llevar ese Spike y vamos a ver si lo consiguen. Ay, Liazi, no me digas que lo vas a hacer. Liazi, no me digas que lo vas a hacer, no me digas que lo vas a lograr. Se alcanzaba a esconder, le van a depusar, no alcanza a hacerlo, sí.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... There's nothing cooking there. There is nothing cooking there. What is Ethan's IGL style going to be? You know, I'm not sure. That's a really good question. I don't think anybody really knows that unless you've been playing against NRG or inside the NRG comms.
El equipo brasileño, Breeze, que ya sabemos que lo tuvieron como la victoria de este equipo. Vamos a ver si logran sacar este mapa.
Oh yeah, Furia using the old loud Viper
Por ahora
wall.
vemos a un equipo que ya empezó a avanzar.
Watch envious at this point. These mods aren't that old.
Quieren que nadie, absolutamente nada, pueda frenarlos. Ojito.
Actually, some of the NRG ones are.
Tenemos a lo que viene siendo Conan y a Khalil para tratar de hacer el freno un poco.
Who was the team with the God Pit spike for postplan?
Por el side de B pueden haber
Was it
sorpresas.
Lev? I can't
Ojo que
remember.
por el side de B también puede haber castigo. Ya retroceden. Van a abrir la puerta. Se van a querer unir con sus aliados. Ya empezamos con la información canina. Alguien que me diga dónde está la línea defensiva. Oxy. Oxy adelanta. Le frenaban con la mordedura. Se iba por una kill, pero dijo no me echo para atrás porque algo pasaba. Mientras tanto, Whip estaba
Unlucky for Havoc.
llevándose a cabo y esto empieza la maratón.
Liazi tried to counter the aggression, but Oxy's a bit too quick.
Condición de 4 para 1. Ahí estaba 1-1. Miusera que cae.
What's your first VCT cast? NRG Furia. Let's watch your first TF2 cast. That's not a good game. That is not a good cast, Fansily.
Pero me encanta que Cloud9 también.
It's from like May 2014.
Buscar en cualquier momento el DT.
Cloud9 a favor de la escuadra de Furia.
Casi botó el agua.
Ya estaba ahí a la escuadra de Furia que va ganando por 2 rondas. Pero ahora nos vamos para la ronda 1.
Fuerza de armas por aquí. Tenemos ya todo el mundo con armamento.
Holy shit. Unlucky. MW getting rocked. And Liazi getting rocked. Oxy's smoke through, spam through the smoke is just too strong. Any chance you know Uber's first cast? I don't actually know. We can celebrate your 10-year casting anniversary soon. Wait a second, we actually can. Holy fuck.
Totalmente violento. A ver, claro que sí. Empezamos a entrar. Se van a encontrar con Khalid que tiene su setup puesto, pero se tiene que jugar hacia atrás. Empiezan 3 jugadores a tratar de defender y Oxy que ya sabe por dónde pueden llegar.
Por torre de Venus.
Maybe I'll do a VOD review of my old TF2 cast as a 10-year learning moment. Oh my god, Oxy, he's just too good with the Guardian. He's crazy. Which one would be more shocking? 100 Thieves making it out of groups, or only one team from that group makes it to playoffs? I think it would be more shocking. Oh, good question. I'm not
Tienen que
sure.
jugar hacia atrás, tienen que esperar, aguardar, aunque lo van a empezar a buscar. Creo que no va a haber contacto.
I
Claro
think
que sí,
it would be
ok,
more
con
shocking
Jake, que
if...
se lo puede llevar. Jake que termina la limpieza completa. El equipo de
Dude, I'm not sure,
Cloud9 que se
actually.
lleva la séptima y
I'm not
esto se
sure.
está empezando a empatar.
They're both...
La bonus se la llevó en la primera mitad.
They both
la
seem
escuadra.
very likely.
Buen trabajo.
But I mean... I think 100 Thieves making it out of the group is more unlikely. Because even if one of the teams, like for 100 Thieves to get out of the group, if 100 Thieves are extremely good, the second place team in that group, oh, well, dude, I don't know. Well, actually, if 100 Thieves makes it out of the group, then maybe both could come true as well. I don't know. I don't know. It's a bizarre question. It's tangled my brain.
En el momento de poner principio económica solamente fuerzan Stingers y alguna
I think both are fairly unlikely.
muy tocada la economía de la
G2 can beat Leviatano Sentinels, or C9 beat Leviatano Sentinels.
En el Superdome Latam.
Yeah, I suppose.
También queda cegado Conan, que se va hacia atrás de la escuadra de Furia, el brasilero que comienza a hacer el jump pick, sacando información, pero no encuentra. Ya lo escucharon ahí en el charco. Ojo con Oxy, que está encendido. Ya tiene rápidamente la sobrecarga, esa ultimate, que le puede ayudar muchísimo.
Writing off loud, Omega Law. 100 Thieves is making it out. People are not ready for the 11 loud flop. I'm from the future. Don't think you are. Alright, let's skip this one. I reckon it would be quite shocking if 100 Thieves win any of their matches. I agree. I don't think it's impossible by any means, but I do think it would be quite the upset if 100 Thieves were able to win, yeah, any of the matches that they have in that group. Yeah, Old Lotus does look weird. I think they improved this map a lot. I originally was not huge on the extra 50-50 angles, but they've just made C so much better for defenders as well, with that elongated box in the back anchor position.
Cloud9 también les da la oportunidad de seguir comprando lo que quieran y Jake, que
And
ya
it's
tiene lista de
still
cera,
fine
todos
to
lo ven.
attack.
Nos vamos ahora sí, llega en estos momentos el Smoke, se va hacia atrás, Vanity que ya con la Operator.
Of course, Vanity with the attack side operator is popping off. Why would he not?
Ojo, y estunea rápidamente, le hace que se lleva sí. El Smoke se va hacia atrás, Vanity que ya con la Operator se lleva rápidamente a Conan, la paranoia lista, comienza a soltar, sí señores. La
Very classic C-mount trap play from Furia.
Otra para Musera, se lleva Jake, condición de 4 para 3 por ahora, la ventaja la tiene la escuadra de Furia y comienzan a correr. Buen trabajo.
I like that play as well from Furia because so many of their defensive aggressive plays are just MW swinging on utility. Whereas that is like all three of them popping out together, as it would be for any other team. But I'd like to see Furia do more of that, where they have strats that don't just revolve around setting up MW on defense. It's like a whole team crunch.
Buscar por la puerta de conexión al side de B, si pueden encontrar algo, pero ojito que es ya nuestra Killjoy Khalil, que se tiene que empezar a enfrentar.
It's been months and I still don't know how to play Sunset. What VODs should I watch to learn? What do you play?
Información completa de que puede haber ingreso, ya hay contacto, ya están en el site, ya por lo menos saben que pueden empezar a
It's kind of important to know what
tratar de informarse en dónde
role
están.
you play first.
Y empieza en este momento por parte de Shepa el plantado de la Spike.
Ahí está Vanity con la Operator, tengan mucho cuidado porque ya los encuentra en zona de escaleras casi en el main. Se le van a
Deadlock only.
muy bien con la Cherry, pero rápidamente corresponde Musera. Carcasa de pinturas para sacar información, comienza a recargar y la turba
Oh, Zeppa just running into Khalil's face and killing MW.
Queda Whippy solo contra el mundo. Atención que
No smoke on the Spike, smoking off tree instead.
Ahí estaba refragueando, le encontraba, le estaba piqueando también ahí. Dispare ahí.
Tragic for Whippy, actually, tragic.
En la cara en estos momentos y tenemos la
Controller, Omen or any initiator to fill. Which team plays Omen really well on that map? Because the thing is, most of the time when you play ranked, you want to be playing like a floating Omen because you're not going to be playing with a Viper, or sometimes you'll be playing with a Cypher that smokes B main off. But a lot of the time you just need to be floating when you play Omen on that map, I think. Who plays Omen fairly well? I mean, you could watch some like... If you're playing Omen, I think a few things that you can do are just try to play passively unless your team is trying to... Okay, wait. I'm going to go through... Just for you, I'm going to go through a Valor plant with like... In like 3 seconds of like extracting value from Omen on Sunset. All right, Sunset. All right, you're playing Omen, yeah? Just, yeah, let's say you're playing defense, right? Here's some spots that you want to be playing from. You don't want to be hard committing down one of the sites, but I mean, if your team wants to try to hold aggressively onto A, you could try throwing a paranoia for them on defense. Otherwise, using your shadow step to cross here so that you don't get punished as you rotate from site to site, very useful. Playing on top of this box and smoking here, very useful, because when they smoke here, you can see over the top of it and get kills. But this smoke should be your default smoke. Like, even if you're playing miles away, if your team comes, they're coming A, you want to be throwing this smoke for them. It's extremely useful. If your team comes, they're coming B, and your Cypher doesn't have a smoke on B, then just smoke like that. And then you want to be trying to get back in through into B. You can try using your Shrouded Steps to get to, like, this pillar. You can, like, TP to pillar so that you can't get seen on this angle. And then you could try to use, like, paranoias like this if you're trying to stop the site hit from coming through. Maybe they're already through. But if you throw a paranoia like this, then you can start swinging on this side. What else? If you are trying to retake back into A, you've already thrown this smoke. Then you can throw another smoke here. And you can try to get back in like this, or you can try to get back in like this. It's really up to you how you want to play that kind of situation. But, I mean, you can throw quite a nice paranoia for your team on the retake if you want, like this. That's going to blind a player playing default and blind a player playing back there. Alternatively, if the entirety of your team is retaking from CT, it's super reasonable to smoke like this instead and stand inside the opponent's smoke, which is going to be there, and throw out a paranoia that gets like this side or this side, you know, those kind of things. Omen's pretty good as long as you don't troll by trying to play it too aggressively. Like, the main thing that I see Omen's fucking up is that it's so tempting to play a spot like this, but then you can't smoke B because you're too far away. But, I mean, if you're playing with a Cypher, like if the Cypher is playing over here and they have cages for B, you can play a spot like this. And the idea being that you try to get a pick on somebody that's playing here, and then you teleport away or hide in this corner, and then you can paranoia like back into them, or you can smoke here and play behind it, and smoke here and really try and hold on to A like that. There's plenty of stuff that you can do. You can even, if you want, try to teleport on top of this box on market. But only do that after you've closed this door, because otherwise they can see you from mid. And the advantage of that is the same you can see over the top of this smoke. You can also teleport on top of this box, because you can see over the top of this smoke. Or at least you can see over the top of it if they smoke like this. You should also be aware that if you're playing Omen on the attack side, if you're playing Omen on attack side, you if you smoke like this, they're going to be able to see you over the top from bench. So if you're the Omen and you like walk in like this, these are your two default smokes, but this one should be just offset a little bit towards the right, or blooming a little bit into the site like that so that they can't see over the top of it. But if you're the Omen, if you've smoked flush, come out with your crosshair looking up towards the top, you'll probably get kills for free. And if you've smoked like this, try to hold a crossfire with you and somebody else on both sides of the smoke so that you are able to kill anybody that comes through. Or post-plant positions like this are really good too, where you are holding underneath here so that you can't get seen from Boba, but you're holding market. What else? On the attack side, by default, if you're doing a fast A hit, you should be throwing this paranoia and then smoking here, like that. And then try to tell your team to go through elbow most of the time, honestly. I think heavy elbow pushes are normally better. But you'll have pushed back the player that was over there more towards the site. And then, yeah, those are your default smokes over towards B. If you're smoking mid for map control, you want to be just literally, it doesn't take any brain power at all. You just put it there. What else? I mean, honestly, this like it's a fairly simple map as long as you don't troll by playing too aggressively. But the TPs are good. Like, remember, playing on top of here, really good. Playing on top of here, really good. But these are like super passive positions. Look how passive the Omen ends up playing. If you play too aggro, you're gonna end up fucking your team up. So just the most aggressive you should be, in my opinion, if you're playing ranked, is just putting this down if your opponents want, if your teammates want to try and set up a crossfire here or something. They want to fight A early on. Someone takes contact, you flash off it. Maybe the neon runs onto it, or maybe, you know, you've got somebody that's pushing down elbow at the start of the round, and you paranoia just as they get onto this angle, something like that. There you go. There's my like couple-minute explanation of how to play Omen on that map. It's pretty easy. How about Cypher Viper instead of the Omen? Without any other smoker? That's called trolling.
Lastimosamente Musera perdió su tumba divas, lo estompea directamente contra la pared Shepa, pero igualmente así pueden ganar la novena ronda. Cegado rápidamente con la luz guías, entramos a la ronda número 18.
You can play Cypher Viper and Omen on the map, or Cypher Viper Harbor. But don't play Solo Viper in my games, thank you.
Electrochoques, Oxy que se va hacia atrás, sacarán el enlace, sacar información. Sí, señores, lo sacaron por completo y por ahora otra.
The thing is, remember that it's ranked, right? So you're never going to know like exactly what your teammates are doing, so don't try to set up anything too elaborate. Just play to maximize your own efficiency. You know, just... Oh, the other thing that I didn't mention is you can sometimes hold market. You can sometimes be the market player, and basically your job is to... The only other... Yeah, that's the other thing that I didn't really tell you guys, is that if you want to play market, you can hold market like this, and if you hear them coming towards the door, you can paranoia like this, and then you swing, and you try to get some kills on people who are there. But often it's a bit better if you can smoke like this as well. A smoke like this is also really good because it threatens that you could be pushing out of it into mid if you break this door. But anyway, sometimes you don't need to even go for the smoke. Like if you know that they're heavy setup market, if they've blinded, flashed, reconned, or not reconned, but like thrown a haunt or something, you can counter a lot of it just by throwing this one paranoia. But you shouldn't always play market. But sometimes you can play market, and then like I said, if this door is closed and they've come all through B main, you can try teleporting on top of here and getting some kills over the top of the smoke. But yeah, they'll be looking for it sometimes. I don't know. It's pretty fun to play. Just don't get baited into playing it like a duelist.
No, se empezaba, trataba de moverse, pero creo que sí, no tenía contacto.
Without busted ciphers, do you think double control is pointless on Sunset? In the current meta, yeah, I think most people are going to be playing double initiator. But I don't think double control is awful. Some teams might try it.
Y no se podía transportar, no se podía teletransportar porque hay un jugador pendiente y ya por lo menos brinda la información. Ojito, el tic-tac en contra del equipo de Furia. Tienen que tratar de entrar, la doble granada preparada. Ojito con Oxy, que nadie sabe dónde está. El pick de Oxy. Totalmente cegado, lo limpiaban.
Yeah, look, MW is he's so desperate to go forwards all time. That's such a great situation there to just take a moment's pause for Conan to sync up with you and try to sync up as well with Havoc, who's around there trying to put pressure from the opposite direction. But he's such a wrecking ball. He just likes to run at people. Big kills from Conan.
Vanity Whippy que tienen que venir a ayudar. En este momento no hay desplazado. Está buscando, tratando de conectar.
Good kills from Conan.
El detective. ¿Qué va a pasar a partir de este momento? También para empezar a condicionar. En cualquier momento vamos a ver cómo puede castigar.
How good do you think Astra Sunset is?
Todo el equipo de Cloud Knight decide hacer una rotación rápida y creo que van a tratar de ingresar a velocidad.
How good do I think Astra Sunset is? I think it's a bit difficult to find a natural place to play. Because a lot of the spots that you're going to want to hold, you don't really want to be like jumping in and out of your astral form all the time. There aren't really any like hard anchor spots on the map over towards A. And on B, mostly that's going to be the domain of the Cypher. You could play an Astra hard anchor B, but then what's the Cypher up to? Holding A and your team's fighting aggro mid? I don't know. I haven't really seen many people doing that, but I think Omen is just a little better on the map. It gives you so many tools to work with as well, the Omen. You need paranoia. I don't know, I think there's maybe some comps where you wouldn't if you were playing double initiator, you might be able to get away without it, but I think it is super useful on that map. There's just so many places where paranoia is good, where the teleports are good. The extra smokes are a bit better, but who cares? Yeah, TPs to get out of positions are really useful on that map.
Vanity que quiere irse por el site de A para poder sacar información. Y ahora sí.
You don't like Neon on the map?
Yeah,
it's
¿Qué va a pasar por ahora? La línea defensiva que adelanta.
I think it is good, but it's difficult to play really well. It tends to leave quite a lot of gaps around the map, I think. You have to play quite quickly.
Vamos a hacer castigo por allá y se encuentran obviamente con Khalil. Ojito con Khalil, ojito con Khalil. Está afuera, pero obviamente sabemos de qué es capaz. En cualquier momento empiezan a entrar. Ojito que el equipo mientras...
Wow, they just sprayed down 2 people by spamming the angle as they were killing the lockdown. Alright, so now you're set up for a retake. It's a 5v3. Show me what it looks like. Presumably Havoc is going to be using his flash, yeah. And this is one of the unusual times in which MW is not the tip of the spear. This is actually Liazi following up off Havoc's flashes over here towards CT, while MW slowly takes Waterfall. Havoc just spamming into a smoke. Yeah. I think MW needs to just learn to pause for like a moment so that he's double facing people or about to get traded, because the timing's not bad. It's just that the rest of his team is scrambling to keep up with him.
Y es el match point para el equipo de la Furia, para el equipo de la fuerza brasileña.
Ahí está, nos vamos para el punto de mapa. El operator que no llega, sí señores, lo peluquea un poco a Oxy, que salta muy bien también saltando con esa velocidad.
Is it safe to say this Cloud9 team's the definition of mediocrity, or are they showing potential? I don't think they're the definition of mediocrity. I think they've actually got a really talented roster. But it's about getting it's about getting that talent to exhibit itself regularly and having a good enough structure to be able to win. Because a lot of what they do is quite slapdash. I mean, that round, for example, is a perfect showcase of the Cloud9 slapdash chaos style, where they have a lot of improvisers on the team. I think Vanity's calling style is very improv, and I think that he's got a lot of players that thrive in chaotic situations. I think Oxy, Zeppa, and Jake are all very improvisational players as well, but it's hard to have great teamwork and great calls when everything is just so flying by the seat of your pants. So I think they're going to be a fun team to watch, but I don't think they're going to ever reach the same heights that the previous C9 team did. Yeah. Would MW be better on a Paper X style team? Dude, MW couldn't really be much better than he currently is performing. MW could make the entire team a bit better if he sometimes slowed down a little bit. But in terms of his own individual performance, it doesn't get much better than what he's currently doing. He's on fire. He always has been on Duelist. It's just about how he integrates with the rest of the team. Okay, so what was the next map? The next map was Breeze, and they got absolutely shit on, didn't they? This game is very quick. Oh, I'm just going to take a break and grab a drink and go for a piss. I'll be back in a sec. I don't think I even can run an advert, actually. Maybe I can. I'll be back in a sec. Oh. What's up? What's up? Oh. Look, I'm cosplaying as my Coca-Cola again. Hello, it's me. Sponsored by Coke Zero. G2 video, by the way? Yeah, let's have a look at it. Now's a good time. This has been pretty well done so far. What? Why is there a fucking clown?
I thought we were in your town years ago.
What the fuck is this? Font color. What the? Get these closed captions out of here. They're distracting the shit out of me.
I thought we were in your town years ago.
I thought there was supposed to be 99 more of you.
Y'all are an embarrassment to this league.
Bro, you are a literal clown.
Pessoal, qual a necessidade disso? A gente tá na mesma liga. Não é pra um ficar brigando contra o outro, era pra gente tá brigando junto.
Okay, wait. I don't understand what's going on here. I think I've missed something. So the idea is each of these is representing a team, like the other people. Yeah? But it's not obvious enough, so I haven't even understood. Who's this guy supposed to be?
We were in your town years ago.
I thought there was supposed to be 99 more of you.
Oh, there's supposed to be 100 thieves. Dude, I'm so stupid. I'm so fucking stupid, chat. I didn't even realize that was supposed to be 100 thieves.
Y'all are an embarrassment to this league.
Who the fuck is that supposed to be? Cloud9. Is it supposed to be Cloud9? Why don't they have the Cloud9 logo on them somewhere, though, so the joke is more obvious?
Bro, you are a literal clown.
Pessoal, qual a necessidade disso? A gente tá na mesma liga. Não é pra um ficar brigando contra o outro, era pra gente tá brigando junto.
We ain't going nowhere.
Oh, he's packing.
All right. If you're in, then play the hand.
Play the hand? Dude, there wasn't even a deal.
You didn't even look at the cards.
You've overcome worse odds. Can you even afford to call?
Dude, they could have just dealt you fucking 7 deuce off.
Yo, man, crazy about making money. Never been this time. And what you get me, it's worth it. Promise. Call.
Sean.
Fuck this. Fuck Sentinels!
Wait, I still don't understand who everybody is. Dude, I feel so stupid watching this. Like, I actually feel so dumb. I'm missing so many of the visual jokes because I just don't understand who people are.
Fuck this. Fuck Sentinels!
That line's delivered so well, by the way. Okay, so this is loud. So, wait, one of these is supposed to be MIBR and one of these is supposed to be FURIA? Is that what this is? And that's crew? Dude, I'm slow.
For the both of us.
Oh, they've got a knife. Dude, MIBR has a knife. They brought a knife to a gunfight. That's so good. I swear, though, how the fuck are you supposed to get this when you're watching it at, like, full speed?
Bruno,
Who are we supposed to be shooting at again?
Who the fuck is that supposed to be on the left? Oh, that's Leviathan.
Che, boludo. Who are we supposed to be shooting at again?
Dude, that video cooked, but they didn't put enough references into who was actually supposed to be who. I swear, I'm not just that stupid. Like, they just needed to, like, have them with the logos on the hats or something. That video made me feel dumb. It was so well done, but it made me feel so stupid. I had to pause the video 5 times to figure out what the jokes were. Fucking hell. You just need more. You just need like one simple visual cue to the team's reference. Because the Sentinels one, they're just wearing the Sentinels logo. And so I'm like assuming that that's going to be the same for the other teams, and then it just wasn't. The subtle jokes are very, very funny once you go back and realize what they are. But I just lost them in the moment. The loud one had a loud logo as well, yeah.
Y no hay que desmeritar el gran trabajo que está haciendo Cloud9. Vamos a ver cómo responde en este segundo mapa. 1-0 en la global. Furia se llevó el Lotus y ahora nos vamos para la ronda de pipas. Atención que Musera comienza a jugar con las emociones. Matanga.
So, Furia, last time they played against Cloud9, did not go for any mid to A stuff like this.
Rápido de Furia, está preparado. Tenemos contacto por parte de Musera que empieza a limpiar. Segunda, doble para Musera. Fue oportunidad de hacer la tercera. Castigo por parte de Musera.
Great
que
pistol round
sigue
strat.
castigando. Se lleva ya 3 jugadores, 3 almas para el bolsillo y el equipo. Que
Yeah,
tiene que
they turned MW into a raid
un
boss.
poco más tranquilo.
Por ahora la situación de retoma tiene que ser para la escuadra de Cloud9.
Actually, who gave it up?
Ingreso. Vamos para la ronda de pipas.
Conan, right?
Y no hay que desmeritar el gran trabajo
Yeah. IGL buying a sheriff for MW. Wait, they double raid bossed. Liazzi bought one for Havoc as well.
está haciendo Cloud9.
Double raid boss?
Vamos a ver cómo responde en este segundo mapa. 1-0 en la global. Furia se llevó el Lotus y ahora nos vamos para la ronda de pipas. Atención que Musera comienza a jugar con las emociones. Matanga.
Empezó rápido, empezó muy rápido. Empezamos por el ingreso por mid. Puede ser oportunidad por acá. Rápido de Furia, está preparado. Tenemos contacto por parte de Musera que empieza a limpiar. Segunda, doble para Musera. Fue oportunidad de hacer la tercera. Castigo por parte de Musera que sigue castigando. Se lleva ya 3 jugadores.
I think that's a great pistol round strat based on their previous game as well.
Y el equipo que tiene que plantar la spike puede estar un poco más tranquilo.
Por ahora la situación de retoma tiene que ser para la escuadra de Cloud9. Solo queda mente Whippy y Jake. La flecha reveladora de Conan sacando información. También cerca ese container amarillo, pero ya puede llevar. Hola, Sheriff, ¿cómo pega este hombre? Dios
I mean, the Viper bought a sheriff on pistol round and gave it to Havoc.
Dándole la primera ronda impecable para la escuadra de Furia.
Exceptionally based pistol.
Momentística para el equipo brasileño.
Nos vamos para la segunda. 1-0 en la global, en el Lotus que vimos anteriormente por un 13-8 en el marcador. Comienzan los datos eléctricos, también el revelado Havoc se va atrás un poquito. También Musera, Vanity, que también elige él, está buscando información. El búho dron llega de Conan, buscando información por zona de pirámides. La cortina tóxica que se levanta.
Remember last time these two teams faced though as well? Cloud9 were running the Sky Comp. Sky Hub of Viper. So now Furia have to be thinking about the Recon Dart, have to be thinking about the traps, that kind of thing.
Guardar obviamente su vida y no tenemos curación, así que es momento de tratar de aguardar un poco, que el resto del equipo le puedan ayudar a aguantar.
Actually, did they have a Cypher last time as well? I can't remember.
Flash para tratar de que Whippy no sepa hacia dónde están. Whippy que tiene seguridad de alta calidad para evitar que el equipo de Furia pueda entrar, y cambiamos por ahora de rumbo Entramos por mid, ojito que el side de A está totalmente entregado.
Se cuela, sí señores, Lucera ya estaba ahí, pero rápidamente lo sentencia Vanity con el wallbang, condiciones
Well,
de 4 para 4.
Khalil still kills one.
La situación de retake que llega para Cloud9, 11 de vida para el IGL de Cloud9, los dardos eléctricos también, la fragmentación que llega por Havoc para evitar la salida rápida por zona de todo el punto cero que sueltan para poder denegar habilidades, comienzan a reflejar, pero rápidamente Conan se lleva a Jake, Liasi que corresponde a Shepa, también Vanity que se lleva a Conan y Havoc también corresponde a Vanity, condición de 3 para 1, solamente queda Whippy que está solo, atención que ahí estaba.
Okay.
Ah, bueno, yo pensé que te ibas a quedar con esa arma.
This is small.
Ojito, ojito.
But you're right, I have enormous hands and enormous
Porque por ahora nos vamos por ahora casi full bind.
an enormous can.
La semicompra que mantiene con la ONU que quiere ganarse la escuadra de Furia.
Back at home. So it just makes it look like this one's smaller.
El punto cero de Shepa de la escuadra de Cloud9 se va hacia atrás Lucera, está pegado en la parte de arriba, ya comienza a sacar información, no le pega absolutamente a nadie. Por ahora.
So yeah, in the previous game, Furia were only ever going into mid like this. And now, on round 1 and round 3, they're going like this. That makes a big difference. Like, a lot of the prep that Cloud9 will have done is focused around stopping them going on these kind of hits, going on these kind of hits, where they go like this. And instead, Furia are changing up their strategy pretty significantly at the beginning of this half.
En el marcador en este segundo mapa, ronda 3, las bandas listas, hay Musera con la venganza de Gaia.
We'll see if Cloud9 reacts.
Por puertas dobles, a ver si pega con esa banda el papá. Ojo con eso porque por las escaleras lo está esperando Shepa. Cuidado con Shepa. Ay.
Dios mío, tengo miedo. Tengo miedo.
Ay, Matanga. Ojo que van a entrar y se están comenzando a replegar.
Maybe we should start adding that into our casts, me and Bren. Oi! Míos Dios. Actually, I don't even know whether that's correct. Do both of those words have an S on the end? Good coordination, though, on those peaks. Oh, it's Dios mío? Oh, there we go. You said it backwards, but close enough. I'm so uncultured. I'll tell you what, I was really impressed, and so was Beth, that I managed to pull from my moldy, rotten brain my knowledge of French enough that we barely spoke English to anybody while I was in Paris. I managed to finesse every encounter with a French person in French, and Lord knows how I did that, because it's been like 10 years since I spoke any French. More than that, 15 years nearly. But I bossed it.
En este momento plantamos la spike, la línea defensiva es la que se tiene que empezar.
It was all in my head, hiding.
Que tienen que buscar la forma, obviamente, de entrar, aunque los veo.
I'm sure my grammar was terrible, but I was understandable. Did you get scolded? No.
Que no le va a alcanzar la superioridad de la banda. Se llevó a Khalil, un jugador que venía a buscar, pero ojito que también el resto de los jugadores del equipo de Furia quieren venir a buscar sangre.
I was just speaking very broken French, but enough to get by.
Cablecito que puede evitar la entrada de Oxy. MW será limpiando también por el otro lado.
Oxy with the fucking ace losing the round. Come on. Didn't study Japanese for like a year and still held conversation. Yeah. I think a lot of it, at least the vocabulary, just kind of sticks in your head a little bit. Were you recognized in Paris?
Vamos a ver qué pasa
No.
si Furia sigue sumando o el equipo de las nubes empieza a cambiar algo en la historia. 2 segundos, 1 segundo.
How big do you think Valorant is?
La cuarta ronda de este enfrentamiento.
Comienza la cuarta ronda y la marcha, la mata patos. Ojo con la mata patos. Mucho cuidado, ya comienzan a farmear los orbes Havoc.
Havoc's 2 away from getting his ult online.
Rápidamente de Conan para poder ver si hay alguien en piedras. La cortina tóxica de Liasi, pero también la mordedura de la víbora de Jake, que está hacia atrás. Mucho cuidado. Ojo con Havoc. Están pidiendo que planten la spike, pero por ahora queda mucho tiempo. Están sacando información. También
I am back in the land of the free.
Ahí estaba Jake. Jump pick. Ahí estaba Salto. Hola, adiós. Hola, adiós. Ahí comienzan a refraguearle por ahora. Las condiciones se mantienen 5 para 5. No han entrado en ninguna kill, pero comienzan a refraguear a ver si le pueden pegar a alguien.
I'm already getting pissed off, by the way, because I got to my hotel And they were like, "Oh, sir, we've got the hotel room ready for you already." I was like, "Okay, good." It's my check-in date. Technically, I did arrive like an hour before the check-in, but yeah, they were like, "Oh, it's a fabulous room, sir. It's fabulous." I went up there. It was the same room I had last time, but it has a balcony outside, which is cool. I've got a balcony. The problem is, because there's a balcony, it has less insulation, so all I'm hearing are cars, horns, the fucking local metro station all night. So I have a lovely, like, kind of south, I guess, facing balcony that gets a bunch of sun. Oh, lovely. But I also can't sleep. So I'm like, okay, well, that's just nice. I sleep fine anyway. I'll be able to get around that. I went into the shower, and I would have got cleaner by trying to get sprayed on by a wet fart. It was a fucking trickle. It was like someone coughing on me. There was no water coming out of the shower at all. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I fiddle around with it for a little bit, get it going like a little bit better, but I've just got a weak fucking pathetic shower in there, which is so sad. And then they've given me a bathroom toilet, which I don't know whether any of you have really used many hotels in the US, but the hotels in the US have these really flat toilets. And I don't know how else to describe it, except that it looks like they've been built to hold any amount of weight. I think maybe that is the reason for their design, but they are kind of low to the floor and kind of wide. And the problem with that is that the gap between the top of the toilet seat and the water in the bowl, it's not that big. And once you've had a shit and a piss and the water level's risen a little bit, you're perilously close to getting Poseidon's kiss on the tip of your dick. You're like, it's perilous in there. I don't know who designed those toilets, but they are not ergonomic. They're not ergonomic. It's not good. It's bad. US toilets are designed very poorly. I do not have a 9-inch cock. I can tell you that for free. They are built badly. They're designed poorly. US hotel toilets are designed quite poorly. No. It's so far I've had, I mean, I'm staying here for 2 weeks. By the end of it, I'm going to have some kind of UTI. I'm going to be horrendously unclean because the shower is barely spitting any water out. And I'm going to be sleep deprived. It's going to be horrendous. So enjoy the streams while you can, because I'm going to be a broken man by the end of these 2 weeks. Surely you can get a different room? Oh yeah, the Ethernet cable doesn't work either. Dude, I can't be arsed getting a different room, man. That's so much effort. It's so much effort. Like, I don't want to inconvenience them like that. If I get a different room, someone's still going to get that room. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to complain.
Vamos viendo entonces.
I'll just deal with it.
Spike no se ha dado. Tenemos el tiempo, 57 segundos, tomando decisiones, lo que viene siendo...
The shower isn't broken. It's just flaccid. It's just like... It's just weak and floppy. It's called broken. It's just lacking pressure.
Buscando también el contacto en cualquier momento con su dual.
Is the quality 720p for everyone? Yeah, I'm actually no, it shouldn't be. It should be 1080p.
Lo que viene siendo Cypher, el Cypher de Cloud9 está esperando allá. Whippy aguantando, manteniéndose totalmente anclado y viene la intención de ingresar.
So we're gonna hear you complain, but you won't do anything to fix the situation? Yes.
Ya levantando rápidamente sus muros, pero llega la flecha, sacando información. Sí, señores, la furia del cazador de Conan a buscar información. Ahí está Valia, así que se lleva doble con la Phantom.
It's 720p? No way. Output 1080. Oh, bro. It's downscaled to 720. And it's in 30 FPS? Okay, I'm going to restart the stream. I'll be back in a sec.